Here we are, about 3 weeks outside of the new league year, which starts on March 15th, and just a few days away from the NFL Combine. And the news cycle is really going to start ginning up. With that being said, let's get it cracking. Yo, 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 no maniacs. Welcome into another edition of Nomad at Night with my boy, the Canuck. And today we got a special guest. One of the no maniacs is coming on. And hopefully, I'm praying and hopefully Nick's listening. We can talk him into putting on the GM hat. We'll catch up with him and see what's been going on with him since the last time he was on the show. He was here for the the draft parties that we had. I can't remember exactly which day. I know we did 3 days worth of that stuff, boy, and it was a marathon. And he was part of it, man. So we'll get him in and see what's been going on with him since the draft and his thoughts about everything that he's seen with the Bears so far. And I'm sure he's got a lot to say about all that, but hopefully we can get him to maybe do some mock stuff and do the mock scenario of the offseason, see what his thoughts are. Also, my guy, Mike Palkovich, hopefully I said that right, Mike. I hope I didn't butcher your name. He gave me a mock draft to show you guys, man. So no maniacs are letting me know what they want to do with the draft. Man, he sent me one in an email, and I'm going to show it here on the screen later on. But before we do all that, I'm going to pass it on to the Canuck for some pleasantries before we get into these topics.
Well, upside is a whole bunch of you homies are already in the mix here with us. So shout out to all of you guys. And we'll start with number 2, No Maniac, Cornelius Squall. Shout out to you, my brother. Good to see you, dude. Frank. All these go for it.
I don't know, man. I'm gonna mess it up too, but I know.
Big ups to Frank regardless, man. You know who you are, Frank. Joseph Archer, big ups to you. FFG's out there with us. Shout outs. Black Diamond's in the chat. What it do, Black Diamond? Hey, Nick's driving home, so Nick's already there. BearsFanGoomba ready to rock and roll. Marco King's with us. Who else we got out there? That's about the beginning of the show. So we'll start things out, get things popping. Been a fair amount of newsworthy stuff out there by way of the Bears. Nomad, where do you want to start?
Well, let's just kick it and just be regular humans. And how you been, man? How you been? It's always several days, sometimes not so many, before we talk again and get to chop it up, man. This is my boy right here, man. And I've learned to love Kedz, man. And it's just the time spent and learning the man and learning what kind of human he is, you know what I mean? And I'll just tell you, I'll start it off. I'll kick it off. All right. Just a few minutes before the show. Normally, I'd have a boatload of notes before I come into a show. But about an hour and a half before I came into the show, one of my homies hit me up, one of my teammates. And so, I ain't going to tell too much about it, but he ended up coming in at the same time I came in. He transferred out when I left and transferred out, and he went to FAMU. And so that's a HBCU school. And, he ended up having a pretty decent career. Some of those guys got drafted out of there. And, it's been a long time since I talked to him. And so it was just great. And my spirits are always lifted when I talk to my teammates, man. It's the same kind of love I got here with my boy Kedz. We're growing that shit, man. We're growing it all the time. And the same kind of camaraderie with my homeboys. Every time we get on the phone, Kedz, it's a long ass time, bro. It's like, I don't know when the last time you talked to one of the homies you ain't talked to in a long time. And next thing you know, y'all get on the phone and y'all talking for hours about everything in the world, man. That's what happened right before the show. And so it kind of threw me off, but it lifted my spirits at the same time.
Well, sounds like my Saturday, man. More or less, I've been, gaming news. I've been playing Avowed. Avowed came out. New, it's an RPG role-playing game on Xbox, more or less for free on Xbox Game Pass if you have it. So I've been trying to crush that over these last few days, and midway through, my son came by yesterday, and then my good homie Deuce One, who's sometimes in the chat. Deuce One, shout out to you, brother. He jumped on the phone there yesterday because he was having some trouble with crypto, man. Just gave me a shout. He's like, dude, I don't know how to move this pie from this DEX, this exchange over to a wallet so I can actually use it. So I kind of helped him out with a little bit of that. I'm no crypto genius, but I try. You know what I mean? Just generally all around technically sound. So we just started talking about that, and then it just got into everyday regular life because you know what I mean. He's elsewhere. I don't get to see him very frequently. Once in a blue moon. Different city, different situation. So we just wound up chopping it up. Next thing you know, we looked at our phones. It was like, holy smokes, we went for 5 hours. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Peace, bro. And we just hung up on each other. But that was my Saturday. Today was pretty slow. Just a little bit of video games and itis, as I've already told you. So, sorry for the late, folks. That's me. You can blame me for that one. Is what it is.
Hey, so all that being said, man, listen, we are let me see, it's March 15th is a few weeks away, man. And that's going to start the new league year. And so what teams are doing right now is kind of prepping the salary cap situation and prepping and making space for opportunities in free agency. Basically that's what that, amounts to. In free agency, I think we're going to have a big, huge. I think we're going to be probably one of the more active teams in free agency this year, based on the circumstances. And I have no qualms about that statement. I do believe we're going to be, if not the most active, one of the most active teams in free agency this year. I think it's a lot to get. I also believe that I think the salary cap, it's going to be some salary cap moves, as we already know. So let's just talk about the stuff that we haven't had a chance to talk about. This happened right before the show Friday with me and FFG, DeMarcus Walker and who was it? DeMarcus Walker and Gerald Everett. They're gone, man, and that surprised me. But I'll save my commentary for after you get done giving your take on it. What'd you think about those moves?
Surprise isn't really the word that I would use. I would like if we're gonna, I'll split them up. I'll separate them a little bit. So completely, absolutely not surprised by Gerald Everett. He did nothing. He's really good. He'll go someplace, and don't be surprised, y'all. Mr. Mayhem, shout out to you, bro. Shout out to the Crooked Commission. Jay Grizz, who just jumped in too. Salute. But look, Gerald Everett did absolutely nothing on this team last season, so there's no reason to pay $5 million given his track record. But I will guarantee, look, knocking on wood, he's going to go somewhere else and be the Gerald Everett that we all kind of expected him to be. I'm just going to put that out there now, and folks might be a little bit mad. You know what I mean? Folks might be saying, oh, man, why'd the Bears let him go? He's out there doing the darn thing. He's going to go out there and do the darn thing. He was misused last season. The reality is better to have the cap space to do different things than to have somebody on the squad that you're not certain about. So that's Gerald Everett. The flip side of that coin is DeMarcus Walker. So DeMarcus Walker's, in my opinion, like the best number 3 or rotational defensive end you can get.
That's a great way to put that.
You know what I mean? Like he's solid is another good word to use, right? He's a solid guy, solid defensive end. He does what he needs to do. He is not the ultimate pass rusher. He's very stout on run defense, very stout. I just hope that part of it all doesn't come back to bite us in the butt a little bit, because that run defense situation was a major problem once Andrew Billings went down last season. DeMarcus Walker really sort of stepped into a lot of those, a lot of those run fits. He didn't take.
I like how Commish put this, man. Look at what Cricket Commish put that. I haven't really thought about it in that term. I'm glad that he said that, because you do have to let some things go bye-bye in order to get some of your guys and get them on the field a little bit more. And he's saying, I'm gonna read it. Cricket Commish says, to let Walker go means you're expecting a big step from Booker. That could be, that's one way to look at it. I see it not only that way, but I think there's a couple other dimensions to it as well.
Well, here's the other one that's really key. If y'all running them mocks out there, Cornelius Squall says, with all the DTs in this draft, I'm not too surprised. And that's key to me. So there's 3-techs all over the place late. You know what I mean? Late into the draft, if you wanted to do it that way. There are, there's a fair amount of nose tackles out there. There's a lot of DTs you can get access to by hook or by crook. You don't necessarily need the top number one guy. There's a lot of run stuffers out there. So I do expect a little bit of a bump up from Austin Booker, but the question is, what is this rotation really going to look like? I expect them to draft a guy, not just at the DT position, but at the DE position. So they're going to really, truly backfill in the draft DeMarcus Walker, both his edge potential and his inside potential. But moreover, I think this actually signifies a bigger move.
No question
on the edge.
No question about that. And I'm gonna kick it into high gear for you all. With some of these, I'm gonna profile a whole bunch of dudes. You know what I mean? And sometimes we do those shows and profiling these guys. You can't get enough of them in there. And the last couple of them that I did are just guys that really stand out to me, man. And I made sure that I give them a little bit more love and do a video on them and talk about them a little bit more. But there's a lot of talent in this draft. I mean, a lot of it. And so DeMarcus Walker, I'll just tell you this. I saw it as and you know what? I'm always into scheme and scheme fits. And so when we bring in Dennis Allen, I look at his defense and I say to myself, okay, actually, DeMarcus Walker is he likes tweeners, guys that can move inside, move outside, and, can play multiple positions. So I felt like, okay, if they decided, you know what, I like this piece on the roster, let's keep him. But then when you look at it from a financial standpoint and you look at it with that cap on Kedz, it's not hard to understand why they did it. And that takes me to the other layer of where I think this thing is going. I think they're setting it up not only for Austin Booker to take another step on this team, but maybe they're opening that spot up for some salary cap casualty, somebody in free agency that's coming up pretty soon. It's one of those two things. They're opening it up for something because I'm 100%. I'm sure that DeMarcus Walker's a fit in this defense. And I don't think he costs a hell of a lot, but I think they can upgrade. And that's what I think is happening. I think they can get a better piece than DeMarcus Walker. And it's, as much as I like the guy, I definitely think they can get better. 110%.
I don't know if they can or can't. The proof is in the pudding there. We'll have to see it to believe it. I think DeMarcus Walker played very well throughout his entire tenure here in Chicago. I just kind of want to say myself personally, big ups to you, DeMarcus, and happy trails to you and wherever you land next. I'm sure it'll be a success because you're just you're a guy, bro. Like you get the job done no matter where you're at. So, big ups to DeMarcus. Let me give some love to the chat here, folks filtering in. Mr. Mayhem, Minister Charles Johnson, my guy Trax at Chicago Sports Podcast. What up, Trax? Paul Rodriguez just jumped in. Who else? I saw somebody else. I swear I'm missing somebody. Oh, FFG, man. FFG. Anyways, look, want to give a little bit of love to DeMarcus, but if you're betting on the draft, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. You never know. Sometimes these kids need to grow. You have the 10th pick. I expect the two key defensive ends to be gone by the time the Bears get to pick. So you can get somebody slightly developmental who might be a little bit different than Austin Booker, maybe a bit longer, a bit faster, a bit stronger. You know what I mean? Like you can do something a little bit different than what you already have. But my expectation is that they're probably going to take that 5 and 5, almost 12, I'd say $11.5 million that they saved from Gerald Everett and DeMarcus Walker here, and they're probably going to apply that to some level of free agent. The question, in my opinion, is who and how much are they going? How much capital is it going to cost them? Is it going to actually cost them draft capital? Because if it does, eek.
Well, I got a couple things I'm going to talk about here. The guy that's on the thumbnail, and I was trying to save this conversation for later.
Save it, because we'll get to. I saw the thumbnail. You know what I mean? We'll get to him for sure.
All right.
He's kind of on the chopping block, but one of the names that has come up in the chat already is Khalil Mack. Before we completely jump off of where we are,
that's good. Because I was going there next. Good.
Okay.
Good.
Right. So I mean, I don't. What do you like? What do you? I'm just gonna throw it right back to you since I brought it up. Right? Like, what do you think about the return on the Mac here? My worry is that he's gonna be at 34 years old. He's gonna be looking at $15+ million. I'm gonna have to look at his stats here in a minute, but what do you think of that, Nomad? What are your thoughts there?
Well, I'm looking at, hey, you know what, Joseph Archer, I'm gonna answer that question here shortly. He says, Nomad, do you think you guys think that the Bears are going to trade tight end Cole Kmet? I'm gonna answer that question in my estimation shortly here. So hang on in there, Joseph. When we're talking about Khalil Mack, listen, I think you got to put things in perspective when you think about Khalil Mack. It's a great topic to talk about when you want to gin up the Bears fan base. You want to talk about the prospects of Khalil Mack coming back to Chicago and playing. He, like Kedz said, you start off number one with the key thing he said was he's 34 years old. And no 34-year-old football player on this planet, I don't give a damn. And I know that if somebody asks Khalil Mack, hey, would you be open to coming back and playing in Chicago? He's naturally going to say, because a smart businessman would say, you know what, I keep all my options open. I wouldn't have no problem coming back to Chicago. But I know damn well, and you know damn well, we know damn well that Khalil Mack coming back to Chicago, if he wants to have a swan song, and you know what, I like Chicago, I like the people in Chicago, I don't want to end my career in Chicago. Yeah, keep the door open. But in realism, and I heard Khalil Mack right after the season. And, you know, it was like 2-3 weeks after the season, reporters caught up to him and they were asking him questions about, you know, what are you going to do? Because word was, Kedz, that he was talking retirement. Word around him, he was thinking retirement. And he said these words, I just want to play meaningful football when it counts. He wants to play games that matter for the most part. And ain't no way possible in my eyes that he sees Chicago as that place right now at 34. You know, I think highly of what they've done in this offseason. They put together a nice-ass coaching staff. I love this coaching staff. I really do. I like Caleb Williams. But the question marks surrounding Caleb Williams are there. You know what I mean? And you don't want, as a 34-year-old football player, with more football behind you than you have in front of you, you don't want to be in a situation where there's question marks around the quarterback. You don't. And so I don't think it's realistic, man. I really don't. In my heart of hearts, as much as I would love to see Khalil Mack come back here, I don't see it, man. I really don't.
Yeah. I can't speak to it much more than what you just did. You really summed it up there, because at the end of the day, he's 34 years old, right? Like that's really the big question. Is he going to a place where he's going to be a contender? And that in itself is a double-edged sword. And what I mean by that is, if you're going to a place that's a contender, these contenders generally have less by way of salary cap available. So are you willing to take a little bit of a dip on your multi-million-dollar salary to go and play some meaningful football, Khalil? Or is this another year at $15+ million? And this is where things go crazy for me, because in either scenario, really, I don't know who's paying you $15 million, bro. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm being real. It's a fair amount of money for 1 year hope situation that you're going to make it through the actual season semi-healthy, right? Because traditionally he hasn't been able to do so. He wasn't able to do so realistically here in Chicago either. And his contract at that time was upwards of $120 million, right? So I don't know, man. I don't have much faith in that. And then you kind of start to smell what's going on in Charger land, and he might not be the only guy who's on the chopping block.
Oh, hold that. Pause. Hold on. because we're gonna stay with Khalil Mack because that's the next subject.
There ain't nothing else to talk about with Khalil.
There is a little bit, because I do think the market for pass rushers is going to go up, and Khalil Mack is proven. He's a proven commodity, and I do think the free agent this season, this free agent period is going to be good to him. I don't think that he's going to come off right away. I think he's going to be in that second tier of the pass rushers that come off in free agency. Somebody's going to sign him. It's going to be Kansas City of the world. It's going to be Baltimore Ravens of the world. It's going to offer him. He's going to get somewhere between 12 and 15 million. Some team is going to say Khalil Mack is the guy that can get us over the top.
But that's like what you're saying right now is in my opinion the big question mark. I don't see Kansas City spending $15 million on Khalil Mack. I don't think
it's Kansas City. It might not be Kansas City. I saw that as their weakness during this playoff run. They couldn't really get after the quarterback the way they wanted to. They need a premier pass rusher, and I don't know if they like. I could see Myles Garrett there. I can see a couple of guys there, but if that market gets too rich for them, and let's say Myles Garrett, that Cleveland is just doomed to keep them and just going to pay them crazy money, then you got to start looking at the next level of guys out there.
Take a wild guess how much cap space Baltimore Ravens have right now.
Shit, probably somewhere around $50-60 million.
They have $8 million in cap space, bro.
Somebody.
This is what I'm trying to say. Them big contending teams generally don't have a lot because they spend their money, right? They have an offensive line, they got a defensive line, they've got superstar players that they're paying and are in contract. It's just the nature of the beast, right? So teams like this usually aren't flush with cash to spend on a guy like Khalil Mack. So Khalil Mack is in a precarious situation. He's got to look at I'm 34. I'm probably going to get hurt this season, probably, right? Secondarily, who's going to pay me what to come out and play at 34 years old? If I want to be a contender, these guys aren't going to have an available 15, 25 mil for me. They're just not. They spend it somewhere else. So am I going to take a pay cut to go and play for these guys? I think the answer to that is probably yes. Same token, are you willing to take a pay cut to go and play someplace else?
He'll just get something in guaranteed money and take a 1-year deal somewhere for $9, $10, $12 million if it comes down to it.
Now you're talking, right? Now that's what Khalil Mack really looks like to me at age 34. It's got less to do with talent, although he only managed to scrape up about 6 sacks in 16 games last season. But at the same time, his other side wasn't there for the better part of the season either, right? So Bosa was hurt.
Yeah, we're heading there. We're heading there, kids.
Well, I'm just saying.
I got to put Cornelius Squalls' comment. He said he just doesn't want to see Khalil Mack go to Green Bay.
Thanks for that, Cornelius. I wasn't thinking about that, but you're right. Yeah, he could. Well, are the Green Bay Packers, in anybody's opinion, are they a Super Bowl team?
I think they can be.
I don't think they are.
I think they can be. If some things go right for them. I think some things went way left. They played some of their better football early in the season. And late in the season, for whatever reason, they just tailed off. Jordan Love started playing not so good football. And a lot of people would want to point the finger at him. And I think he deserves some of the criticism. Wow. But there's other things that's going on. Any team, man, it takes a little combination of having the right momentum. I mean, I'm talking about playing good football late. The attrition that comes with playing professional football, you got to be healthy as possible and your guys available when it's time to play your best football in meaningful games. And, there's other elements that come into it. But I will stand on the table and say Green Bay is going to be right there in the thick of these conversations for some time to come until somebody knocks them out of those conversations. Right now, I think they're a good enough team to get in and dance. How far they can go, I think they're trying to figure that out right now.
So okay. So first thing to say, Cornelius Squalls, you just blew up the chat, bro. You blew up the chat. Chat's going crazy. Like Khalil in green and yellow, that's crazy. I would instantly hate Khalil. Like quote unquote, what a couple of folks out there are saying. Shout out to Laz. Shout out to Black Rain and Hair Bear just jumped in. Man, but the point of what I was sort of like the point of the dollars and cents that I was sort of putting together a minute ago with him, first of all, going to that Super Bowl team and then sort of looking at the Packers as a great, for instance, he's going to take a pay cut. Like, and I'm going to run it right now. He's going to take a pay cut to go to the Packers too. Right. And that's where things get interesting. If he's taking a pay cut to go to the Packers, he'll take a pay cut to come back home.
Marco King said, I wish you hadn't put that out there, Squalls.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got riled up one time.
Yeah.
The Packs got a decent amount of salary cap. They could definitely afford a Khalil Mack at a higher contract if that's really what they wanted to do. So the question to me is Khalil Mack chasing a ring? Is he chasing the chip, chasing a cup?
He's chasing the chip, bro.
Huh?
He's already made enough money. He's chasing the ring. He's chasing legacy. He's chasing the bus in the NFL Hall of Fame.
There's different types of legacy, bro. There's also like my kids never have to work. My kids have their own business that I paid for, each one of them. You know what I mean? Like there's different legacies out there.
Bro, when it comes to the NFL, there's no legacy unless it's a Super Bowl, ring to your added to your conversation. They know that. I know that. You should know that after all these years of watching football. Khalil Mack wants to put icing on his cake, man. Come on now.
I'm just saying the obvious things that need to be said, and that is this. If he's going to go to a team like the Pack, he's likely going to take a pay cut too. So
if you were his agent,
we can pay him on a pay cut is what I'm trying to say. Like we can pay him $12 million to play football. Upwards of $15 million to me is a little bit crazy for a 34-year-old man on a season deal.
Yes, if you were his agent and you know what his mind is, he's trying to cement his legacy. He's trying to put icing on the cake. Where would you be trying to steer him? Would it be Chicago?
Check it out.
Come on now.
Well, fair, but hold on. If I'm his agent, I'm trying to send him wherever I can get the most money because I get a percentage of that.
Of course.
But
you're not in that space. He's not in that space, and where you're going to have to take. You're going to have to try to get some negotiations going on with one of these contenders. Which one of these teams would you be trying to steer him towards?
Where I would steer him? Now I got to look now too at the salary cap. You know where I would send him? I'd send him to Buffalo.
Because of Von Miller.
Well, they're the same age, right? They're both the same age. Just pay the $15 million on to have both sides of that thing taken care of, and they're
right down too, ain't they?
They're negative $15 million right now. So I don't know how they managed to do something like that.
They kept a bunch of contracts because they wanted to make this run. They felt like this would be the run, so they're gonna have to take a little bit of getting in the red to get there. They're gonna shake a whole bunch loose this offseason.
So yeah, I would like to think he's in it for the chip. I'm not so sure that that's really the case, and the reasons that I say that have a lot to do with the way he wound up leaving the Raiders and coming here. Right, it was much more of a cash grab situation, which I understand. And he grabbed that cash, bro. He got paid. That being the case, it's now a different story, right? He's been paid. He's 34. What do you want to do? You basically have 2 years to do this thing if you're doing it. If you're doing it, you can do it for $8 million. You know what I'm saying? You can do that with Kansas City.
My boy Crooked Commiss says Houston, if they have the money, maybe they already got two dominant edge rushers.
They don't need them in Houston, to be frank. You're right.
I mean, if he's going to come in there and play the third wheel to that rotation, I can understand it. Crooked, I don't see it though. Maybe as a rotational piece, that's not crazy, Nomad. That's not crazy. Just because it gives him, he just doesn't have to take as many sacks. Play as many snaps as the next guy would, right?
So they could rotate him in, but under the same pretenses, Houston ain't paying no $20+ million for a rotational edge rusher. It's just a fact of the matter.
All right, how about this, man? We can come circle back to this if we want to. I think we squeezed that lemon a little bit, but Joey Bosa is another name that everybody's, the podcasters are ginning everybody up. We can get Joey Bosa. Yeah, do we really want his ass? That's the question. Do we want his ass? Because that motherfucker ain't on the field often enough for me. I can tell you that. And I know he has that name recognition that everybody hears a Bosa. Yeah, we want a Bosa. Hey, look at the film, man. I just look at the film and I'm just like, dog, I just need you on the field. Number one. Number two, I just need you not to get your ass whooped every time I turn on the film in the run game. That's what I keep seeing. I've looked at all these guys, kids. I've been looking at these fellas. And he's getting his ass kicked when he's on the field in the run game. Setting the edge, he's getting his ass kicked, dude, on a regular basis. Any 4-3 defensive coordinator that really tries to qualify himself as a coordinator, he's not going to want guys that get flushed the hell out in the run game. You need to be strong in that setting that edge and be firm. And he's everything but that, what I've seen on film, man. And he's not on the field enough, man. 23 games missed in the last couple of seasons. Come on, dog.
Yeah. Shoot. So in the last so in 2021, he had 848 snaps, 16 games played, 11 sacks on the season, 51 total tackles. Like, dog, you know what I'm saying? That's a dog on the edge. Over the course of the last 3 seasons, he's had 15 sacks total, which is only 4 more than he had in 2021 single season. He's played 14, 19, 18 games total. Snaps, he's taken maybe 100 snaps more than he took in 2021 total. So I don't know. I don't know what you do with a Joey Bosa in this situation, to be frank with you.
Cut him.
You know what I mean? I would, at $13 million, I would probably cut Joey Bosa, and situational rotational pass rusher, $7-8 million. By all means, Ryan Poles, go. But $13 million plus, I gotta look at his market value.
I think that name recognition gets everybody excited. And you look, and what stuck out to me on tape was just the way he got his ass kicked in the run game. It was just atrocious, man. It was really bad looking to see how he just couldn't get off blocks. He was just getting wiped out of the play very easily. Very easily. It's like you can take him, just run at Joey Bosa. When he's not in a pass rushing down, just run at him. Just run at him. Ain't shit he can do about it.
Man.
Nothing. It's bad. It was bad. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna hold you, kid. I looked at him and I'm just like, oh shit, no, don't get him. No.
Yeah, this is not a good situation at all, to be frank with you here. They have an out. They would hold on to $11 million dead cap. He's more or less a trade candidate, more so than a cut candidate. They could cut him, but they're holding that 11 mil. They're paying him 11 mil regardless because they backloaded this contract. That's the issue with this particular player. Backloaded contract. They owe him $13 million this season. They can save about 3-5. And save him a little bit, just a little bit, but they got to pay. They got to pay this guy. So, wherever he winds up, the hairiest bear gooch. Yo, my first live on this badass mofo channel. Yo, big ups to you, bro. Thanks for coming through. Respect.
Shout out to him. He's been giving us great commentary, man. We've been getting a lot of good feedback from new subscribers and people, catching shows for the first time. I appreciate you guys, man. The hairiest bear gooch is one of the main ones. Every time we do a good video, he's giving good feedback. And the truth is, man, dude, like the name recognition out there is I think what gets people excited. Can we get Khalil Mack? Yes, that'd be great. Can we get Joey Bosa? Yes, That'd be great. But does he fit in what this guy wants to do? And does it make sense financially? Or can you upgrade that position and get an even better player than those two guys? And I think both those things are true at this moment. You can get better players than those two guys. It's not like Khalil Mack is a bad player or Joey Bosa is a bad player. You know, Khalil Mack's a particular 34-year-old. You know what I mean?
I'm just looking. Sorry, man. I'm just looking at this. I'm looking at Joey Bosa's numbers. They have to cut him. There's no two ways about this. He's got a $12 million bonus coming up, and that's on top of the $13 million salary. They got to cut the guy. He's got to be cut or traded any day now.
Oh yeah, he's done. He's done there. And there's no future with Joey Bosa in L.A. None.
Man,
none whatsoever. It's like the draft is so good. Like my guy, the Harris Bear Gooch is saying. He said my guy's finding major depth in the third and fourth round. He's talking about some of the players I've been starting to profile. And if you like that kind of stuff right now, I'm gonna really gin it up as we get into the combine and as we start having these conversations about these college prospects. You see nothing, man. I got guys on this list that nobody's talking about, and it's just like people should be. You know, Jordan Phillips being one. You know, one of those guys that D tackle out of Maryland. Oh my God. When I ran up on this dude's tape, I'm like, man, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? We can't be stuck in this conversation conundrum talking simply about Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. Both really good players. Really, really good players. But oh my God. Football people know when they look at this kid's tape, it's like, man, bust all that other stuff, man. Get this kid in here whenever you can get him in here. But don't sleep on him and think that he's going to just hang around for multiple rounds. Boy, you better get that dude in this building. Wait, I can't wait till you look at this kid's tape, kids. I'm not fucking around. This kid.
Which kid you talking about?
Kid named Jordan Phillips out of Maryland. I put a little video out about him earlier.
Okay. I will check him out. There's like as deep as a draft could be, the defensive tackle draft this season is pretty crazy. Like, it's pretty crazy if you're really paying attention, y'all. So I expect the Bears to probably double dip at DT again. And if they do, it's going to put Javon Dexter on notice. So Javon Dexter, I expect him to either have a boom season. Same thing with Andrew Billings. I expect nothing different from Andrew Billings because he does the darn job the way the job's supposed to be done. But you got two young bucks breathing right down your neck, rotationally playing in and getting the job done too. This line's going to look a lot different than it did last year because the major problem was as soon as Billings was done, that line was done. I mean, San Francisco was running on us with our third and fourth string running backs. Jordan Mason got hurt in the game. So who cares? This is sounding like Jeff. I don't even know. You know what I mean? I don't even know homies' names anymore. But whoever's in the running back room, just send him out there. He'll get 50 yards for sure. They destroyed us. But that was the story of the whole season last season. Two more guys in that interior, crazy. Now, maybe they address a little bit of that in free agency too, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to focus on the other side and or the edge.
Kids, if you, I'm telling you, and I'm not saying this because I'm a tape junkie. I'm a film junkie. I love to fucking look at this stuff, man. This is where I find my home. This is how I remain close to the game as I can be as a former player. It's just watching and evaluating the talent that I'm looking at. And I'm telling you, there is no whole ass reason to overreach in free agency on any part of the defensive line or the offensive line, especially on the defensive line in particular. Like, those guys are so effing talented. It's like, why would you spend a boatload of money? So, like, I don't know if you've seen the Larry Ogunjobi video that I did. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I put it out recently. And, you know, and my guy, and I got to mention this before I forget about it, a new subscriber, man, he let me know that he subscribed to the channel because of that video. My guy, Deion Harris, I got to shout him out. And he mentioned something after that video in the comment section. He said that, you know, Poles has a particular way of going about business. They pursued him once, which means we know they like the player, right? Something happened, and he didn't end up getting signed because he wasn't fully healed from his injury and came in here and took a physical too early, and ended up being out there, and they didn't get the contract. And he went to Pittsburgh, recovered for about a year, and that next year he was Larry Ogunjobi again, right? And so what my guy Dion mentioned to me, he was just like, man, Poles is going to end up signing. And you know why? Because when he targets a guy, he continues to pursue him. Same thing happened with Ryan Bates. Remember when he first went after Ryan Bates and shit didn't go down? And then next following year, he went right back after him. You see what I'm saying? So I thought that was a really good point. I could see a redemption story with Larry Ogunjobi because he's making, if they keep him, he's going to cost them $7 million of annual salary. And then another $3 million of roster bonus. But they can cut it outright by releasing him.
So is he still on Pittsburgh?
Yes, for now. They've got until March 18th to let him go. I think the third day after the new league year, I think is when that $3 million kicks in. And he's going to end up getting his whole salary for next year. So it's very possible, bro.
Okay, like the money makes sense. I'm just looking at his contract right now.
$10 million, kids. If they cut it, all they gotta do is release him before March 18th.
Yeah, so it's not even really 10. So it's 10 with bonus. The bonus disappears. So they would owe him 4. They'd be holding on to 4. We could sign him for the remaining 6, which would be great. Hell, 7.5. He's up. That's one way to address the line. Me personally, I wouldn't do it. Just me. I wouldn't do it. The only reason I'm saying that is because I think what you do, and legit Pac fan, I'm going to give you just a little bit of a shout out today, starting with FGB. You know what I mean? We'll start it that way. But legit Pac fan says Ryan Poles' eye for talent is pure comedy, and I can't necessarily agree with that. I'm the only reason that I agree with you, Nomad, in that he might go and look again is because of what he did with Ryan Bates. But I'm going to explain the Ryan Bates situation so that it's something that's sort of a little bit different. The Ryan Bates situation was a transition tag, right? So when Ryan Poles signed a transition tag, Buffalo had to match it. So basically, Ryan Poles created the contract. Once the contract was created, Buffalo had to honor the contract, and they did. Bates re-signed and played with them for a year. Unfortunately, got hurt, and they wanted to cut bait. Haha, pun intended. So they cut bait on Ryan Bates. We picked him up under the same pretenses and basically paid the contract that we already constructed and set up. So Poles got him for exactly the price that he wanted to pay him. Larry Ogunjobi's a little bit of a different story, but the upside is he's actually cheaper just because he's older.
You're going to pay him. You're going to end up paying him probably a third of what you would have ended up paying him that was in 2022, right?
Yeah.
That was in 2022. So with 3 years out of it, you're going to end up probably paying him a third of what that contract would have been. So why wouldn't you pursue that? You like the player in the.
It's not crazy. It's not crazy. He might do it. Sorry, I'm not going to say he might do it. I'm just going to say that the dollars and cents and incentive are all there, right? So he likes the player.
Yes, because I got Nick just popped up on the screen. Give me a thumbs up when you're ready, Nick. We'll put you on. If you can hear me, Nick, give me a thumbs up when you feel like you're ready. I don't know that you can hear me.
If you can't, holler at him in the chat there. See if he's
saying something in the private chat. Let me see.
But like I'm saying, I don't know about the Ogunjobi thing because the way that I look at this see the hairiest bear gooch is right there with us. What's popping, Nick?
Can you hear us, Nick?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, okay. My boy Nick finally made it back to the building, man. What's going on, dude?
I'm doing okay. How about you guys?
Man, we here just doing what we do, man. We're doing what we do. It's good to see you, man. Glad you made it back safe. So you basically, this is BearsFanGoomba, by the way. When you guys see him in the chat, that's BearsFanGoomba. This is our guy Nick, man. So you heard the whole conversation thus far. Anything that stuck out that has you want to comment about? Anything?
Yeah, Mac better not go to Green Bay. That'll be another Julius Peppers all over.
See what you did, Cornelius.
You know? But I tell you right now, I think Green Bay they're overrated because they have great coaching. Their players, they got good players, but Jordan Love, he benefits from LaFleur. So if there was no LaFleur there, I don't think he'd be doing as good as he does. So
that whole you're right, 1,000,000,000%. That whole team benefits from LaFleur.
I call him a system quarterback. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would call him that. I think he's
no, because I do believe that systems do help quarterbacks progress. I think you take him out of a system that he's accustomed to. That's the only thing he's seen since he coming to the NFL. You take him out of that system, he might be like a fish out of water. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
But so did you hear the latest conversation when we were talking about Larry Ogunjobi?
I kind of caught that a little bit because I was parking and then getting back in the house and everything. So what were you guys talking about with Ogunjobi?
So basically, I put a video out talking about the possibilities, and my guy Dion Harris is a new subscriber to the channel. He mentioned something to me in the comment section that I hadn't thought about, and he was just like, Ryan Poles does have the tendency that if he targets a guy, he'll continue to pursue him. The case being,
he did that with Ryan Bates.
Exactly. And so, you still, if you like the player in the first place, there's nothing on film looking at Larry Ogunjobi that tells you he's not the same player as he was when you pursued him the first time. And now you only have to sign him for maybe like a third of what you were offering him in the first place. So why wouldn't you pursue that guy?
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could if the price is right, but then just don't hold on to him if he doesn't work out, So, because I think what you guys are talking about, there's a lot of young talent that they need to get in here and give them a chance, I don't know. I'm still 50-50 with Poles. He makes some interesting personnel decisions. Some I don't agree with. I mean, Blasingame being the most recent one, he cut him for no reason. And but at least for him, he got a Super Bowl ring out of it. But so we'll see. I mean, why not? Doesn't hurt to get guys in the door and see who can do the best.
Yeah, man. I just think there's several situations, man. There's a lot of names. I think you guys, if you want to really get yourself a little bit ahead, and I'll try to sprinkle in some of these videos as I'm talking about. I'm about to go really heavy on the college prospects and key you guys in on some guys that I think you should hear about. But I'm also try to mix in at times getting some of these potential salary cap casualties because there's a lot of them.
Wasn't there a Sheldon Rankins rumor out there?
Rankins one, and he was drafted by I think he was there in Dennis Allen's regime.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot. There's a lot there. Like I can run down some names if you guys wanted me to. I mean, it's a lot of names potentially getting ready to come out as these salary cap cuts. All of them may not happen, but there's going to be quite a few that do because this is a very, very deep draft. Very deep draft. And all these people talking about it doesn't have this, it doesn't have that. Nonsense, man. Like we was about to talk about Cole Kmet. So I'm glad you're here, Nick, because we're going to talk about that right now. And I'm going to say this. I'm a Cole Kmet fan, number one. I like Cole Kmet. Here's what I think about Cole Kmet. I think Cole Kmet has seen too much here in Chicago. And I can remember the Cole Kmet that, first got here. He was optimistic after every season, and he's gone through nothing but bullshit since he's been here. Nothing but bullshit. And he's optimistic after every season. Kids, I'm telling you, I saw a different Cole Kmet towards the end here.
Me too.
He was done with it. He was done with it. And I do think there comes a time, as much as we might like Cole Kmet, as much of a asset as we might think Cole Kmet is, sometimes it's better to move on. Now, what I'm going to caveat that with is this is a very talented tight end class, by the way. I don't know how many of you guys know that, but I'm going to highlight some of those guys moving forward too. this is a extremely talented tight end class. We've already done a few of them, but I'm gonna add some more to the conversation. But this is a highly talented tight end conversation, and you can save $10 million if you can't cut him. I mean, if you can't trade him. What do you guys think about Cole Kmet?
I don't know, man. I mean, he shows flashes, but then, he also has a lot of brain farts out there, if you know what I mean, dropping passes or missing blocks. I'm not sure if I'm wanting them to get rid of him, but I think he needs better coaching. The Bears have had crappy coaching, especially on the offensive side of the ball. It's kind of like you guys were talking about Everett earlier. Watch, he's going to go to another team like Kedz said, and he's going to freaking, probably blow it up.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe hold on to him for one more year, see how he does under this new coaching regime. Maybe they can actually use him the right way and get a complimentary tight end in, So that's what I'd say. I don't know if I want to, get rid of him this year, but I'd say this is probably a make or break year for him.
So wow, just checking out the chat. Some of the stuff folks are saying out there is pretty key.
Ant Math.
Yeah, Ant Math was great. Komet has a bright future in podcasting. Komet was the biggest victim of poor coaching, according to Minister Charles Johnson. Things aren't the same. He isn't going anywhere. Well, I don't know what to say about that. The only reason I would speculate that he isn't going anywhere is because Ryan Poles just signed him to an extension, right? He was just signed this past year.
It's now trade him after that, though.
Now, these are little things that I kind of have problems with Ryan Poles for. Like Nick, you kind of brought it up. And that's where I was going with legit Pac fan. I'm the one guy I'm out of all of this stuff. The person who worries me the most is Ryan Poles, to be frank, right? It's not really the players on the team.
Yeah.
It's not this new awesome coaching staff. It's not even Kevin Warren or George McCaskey. At this point, it's really actually squarely Ryan Poles. I don't know how you sign the tight end and the wide receiver to big money deals when you have no idea what the chemistry is between them and the rookie quarterback. You don't know what it looks like. If it doesn't work out, you might want to cut bait, make a move, and shift and shook and dive. And that's where we're at. We're at shift, shook, and dive level, and the money's tied up. So I would hate to see Komet get cut. They can cut him. I think they wind up pulling back about $7 or $8 million. It's a positive cut to make, but now you're out 2 tight ends. You have no tight ends. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody else in the room. So now you got to go get 2 tight ends, A in free agency, B in the draft. That's what you got to do.
It'll cost you $10 million, kid.
Say what?
It's going to cost you $10 million.
To what?
To keep Cole Kmet. And it'll save you $10 million if you didn't.
You're right. So it'll save you 7 to 8 mil. Otherwise, you have to pay him 10. I'm with you. The problem there is that you made that choice last season, right? You just made the choice. So your expectation was to pay this guy. What you can do if you're Ryan Poles, and this is me just being the realist now. What you can do is you can take a guy like Cole Kmet and you can shop him to the Cleveland Browns. And when I say to the Cleveland Browns, I mean in trade for that big edge rusher. Or if you're really trying to make a move at the edge for one of these big guys, I think Cole Kmet might be a trade casualty much more so than simply just a cut. Because they just cut Gerald Everett.
Yeah. Hey, Doug Kramer can play tight end. Just kidding. Just kidding.
You know what? Let's get realistic about this. You got, and I think I do a decent enough job of trying to imagine what a new coach and a new coaching staff together with a GM when they're evaluating this roster. What do they think? I'm sure they think the world of Cole Kmet, but they also have to think about the salary cap implications and what you want to do moving forward. You're gonna, I just don't know new coaches that come into a new organization and all right, I'm good with these leftovers, and I'm not, calling Cole Kmet a bad football player because I'm calling him a leftover. But Cole Kmet has gone through a lot of shit since he's been here.
You're right.
I mean, just too much, to be honest with you. And I sensed that at the end of the season, man. He tapped completely out, and he was just like, man, get this shit over with. I'm done with this shit, man. He was over all the, getting excited about what we can do next in Chicago, and that kind of shit right there. I really, my antennas go up when I hear and see shit like that, because it's not that I doubt the talent of Cole Kmet. I know that cat is talented. I know what he can bring to the table. But is it best for you to move on from a player because he's gone through a little bit too much here? You know what I mean? He's one of those guys, him and Jalen Johnson for that matter. You know what I mean? So it's like I see them in a different light. Like if I was one of those two guys, I'd be happy because I'm getting paid. But in the back of my head, I'd be like, all right, if you want to trade me or let me go to some other team, I'd be cool with it. And you got that kind of energy on your team. You want guys that want to be here and that's really bought into what they're doing. You know what I mean? And I think that's the part that gets left out. You want guys with some buy-in, and he was in some buyout at the end of the season. I promise you that.
You just mapped out how the Chicago Bears get Myles Garrett without giving up any draft capital.
What trade?
Yeah.
Those two guys, man, specifically.
I wouldn't complain. Wait. You mean Jalen and I don't know. I like Jalen. Kmet, I'd be okay with.
I love Jalen Johnson. I'm just being the realist like I usually am. I have no interest in seeing Jalen Johnson go anywhere but to the house with somebody else's pass. Like that's what I want to see him do. But if you were trying to get one of these top edge rushers without spending a first round pick on them and next year's first round pick on them, Jalen Johnson would probably be in that conversation.
Well, and maybe if Tyreek Stevenson wasn't being so immature right now, he might be feeling a little more confident about getting rid of Johnson.
Fair, but
he's got to get his act together.
But the confidence to me in that conversation is less to do with Tariq. It's more to do with Terrell, who's sitting behind Tariq and has been for years.
Oh yeah, Terrell Smith. Yeah,
Terrell Smith. He kind of comes out when Tariq is having an off day and he plays stellar football. So now you put him on the field. Jalen, goes to whatever other team. I hate to say this stuff, guys, but it's an interesting look that just sort of popped into my head. If you were trying to get one of these big edges and you got to pay them, hey, you're taking the contract on, that's what you're doing. At least you don't lose out on capital, or at least not major upfront first round capital. You could actually look at moving Jalen Johnson and Cole.
I would agree. I think Myles Garrett would be worth it.
Yeah.
So let me clarify what I'm saying. I'm not here to advocate trading, releasing anybody. Nobody. It's not my place. I'm not here to do that. I'm talking about, the possibilities. And so I'm always preparing myself for whatever could happen in a new regime. And any and all of this is possible. And that's the only reason I'm talking about it. I think Cole Kmet's a great fucking football player. Yeah. And I'd love to see him stay here. But the possibilities are endless in the event that they've got something cooked up that we don't know about it. Who knows what their plan is moving forward? All we know is how much we like Cole Kmet and how much we like Jalen Johnson. We don't know what the hell they want to do, and I'm here just to say, the possibilities are out there and it's worth the conversation. It's good to get everybody's feedback as to how they feel about each one of these guys and how they fit into whatever this new structure is going to be. But the truth is we just don't fucking know. And, we got to have these conversations because I need to prepare myself mentally for the fact that either one of these two guys might not be a Bear moving forward. Because in the next few days, as this combine starts happening, what happens down there in Indianapolis? People start to talk. The GMs start to talk to each other. The scouts, personnel, the owners, and all this kind of stuff. They start having conversations, and these conversations lead to big trades. Big time things happen out of these conversations they're having right down there in freaking Indianapolis. And whatever that is, I'm ready for it. I try not to attach myself so much to a football player, especially after Justin Fields. Man, that hurt. You know what I mean? So I'm just
Velus Jones.
Hey, Velus Jones. Hey,
what about Nate Davis?
Hey, man, kids, don't make me choke your ass out live on the air. Don't get me started. Man, but hey, look, I still think that was a mistake letting him go. But yeah, man. But last words about any of those two guys, man. It's a possibility that either one of those guys could get moved if they want to do something huge.
So I'll put it this way. You're going to be looking for two new tight ends, and I think that's reason enough to keep Cole Kmet. I'm also going to give him a bit of a benefit of the doubt because, just like Minister Charles was saying, the kid's seen some bad stuff, man. Like he's seen some real bad stuff over the course of the last few years. I don't know what you do with that, but I'm going to hopefully just chalk it up to he was over that season, right? He was just over that season. I'm not so sure if he's over his tenure as a Chicago Bear, especially considering he just signed an extension. So it's really hard to determine and decipher from that perspective where his head is at. But it was clear as day that he came to a point at some point this past season where he was over it. He was like, let's get this thing finished so we can see what things look like next season. And whether that is with him being here or elsewhere, I get it, but it's an interesting situation with him, right? It's a good chunk of change to pull back either way. Nick?
Yeah, man. Listen, we can have another conversation for about the next hour and some change about the possibilities here, man, because there's ways to, really I think it comes down to Kedz and Nick. It comes down to what is Poles trying to set up for his coaching staff? What is the coaching staff asking for? Do they look at this talent on this roster and they are okay with it versus the options that they may be able to get in the draft, the options that they may be able to get in free agency, the options that may be there as those salary cap casualties. A lot of options there. And really, it's not about whether or not Poles wants to do this or that. It's about where this coaching staff wants to go with this roster, And who wouldn't like a Cole Kmet or Jalen Johnson? Nick, I mean, it's just you would love those guys when you look at them on tape. But whether they're worth keeping under the circumstances and what you're trying to do moving forward, we don't know.
Yeah, I don't know much about the free agent class, but if they're looking to upgrade the trenches, then maybe they don't want to move don't want to make two other areas weak. But I don't know. I'm not really I don't know what the market's going to look like out there personally. So I'm just gonna it's really interesting what we're talking about right now, and I'm gonna layer it through, and then we can shut up about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think we're pissing off Minister Charles Johnson. I'm just teasing. Either way, look. Those big names are going to command more or less two firsts. A Pro Bowl roster cornerback will probably command a first and a second. All right, so it's very close. You throw another player into that mix, whether it's Cole Kmet or somebody else, and you're talking. You're in the conversation for some level of trade to actually happen. And Jalen Johnson's got a big contract right now. So does potentially Myles Garrett, right? Both of these guys are in for big money. So the question is, how much are you weakening the secondary? And I think you're weakening it significantly, but I also believe in both Tariq and Terrell. I actually do. I think they're both really good corners. I think they are. And that's just bolstered by Kyler in the middle. I think all three of those guys are stellar corners, man. The other thing is, imagine we're talking about like the two holdovers from the Ryan Pace era too, right? So maybe there's a little bit of a, hey, like finally I can get these two guys off this team because I didn't draft them. I don't know if that's a fact, but you know what I mean? For Ryan Poles and where his mindset is, you never know. But
I think the way that the 4-3, at least under Flus, was working, if you got that pressure up front, the secondary cleans up, right? And when we did get the pressure, Jalen Johnson played that much better. Tariq Stevenson played that much better. It's just the way that the 4-3 works. If you're able to establish that pressure, I'm going to have to say I believe that Tariq and Terrell would step up in a major way. But that's based on belief, not necessarily based on tape or practice. You know what I mean? What these guys are looking at and what they see in practice and on tape. So,
I don't want to go on a squirrel moment, but they also have to look at safety because Brisker is too injured too often. So
yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Yeah, man. That's real. That's very real.
so.
You know what? Nick, let me ask you a question, man. Can I talk you into being Bears Goomba Ryan Poles and put on the GM hat and run through some fantasy stuff, man, and assemble the roster and do a mock draft? Is that too much to ask for?
No, I'm okay. Yeah.
You good for that?
Yeah.
All right. I'll tell you what, before we do that, let me prime everybody up with my guy Mike Palkovich, who always hollers at me in the emails, man. He's my guy. He'll email me after every show and let me know what he thought of these situations. And this was his draft. He got he obviously traded back once or twice and got Derek Harmon, offensive tackle, D tackle out of Oregon, Shamar Stewart, an edge / defensive tackle out of Texas A&M, Donovan Jackson, offensive guard out of Ohio State, Mason Taylor, that's another player that a lot of people aren't talking about, tight end out of LSU, he got him at 50, Tate Ratledge, offensive guard out of Georgia, TJ Sanders at number 72, defensive tackle out of South Carolina, love that kid, Jalen Reed, safety out of Penn State, there's Jaquan Brisker's replacement right there at 127. He got at 204, he got Seth McLaughlin, offensive center out of Ohio State. Then he got a kicker, Ben Saul. So he's planning on cutting Cairo Santos. So he got a kicker out of Pittsburgh, Ben Sauls. And he got at the end, he got Trevor Etienne at 242, running back out of Georgia. What do you guys think about this draft? I'm gonna just leave this up for a second before I put you guys back on the screen.
Well, I'll admit I don't know a lot about the college players. Is TJ Saunders, is he the one that you just did that video on today?
No,
earlier?
that was probably
that the Maryland one?
That was Jalen Phillips out of Maryland. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not as familiar with the college players, so I'm going to be transparent with you. So
it's an interesting draft. I don't mind this. Shamar's really good. Derek Harmon's really good. I like Mason Taylor. I'm just not so sure. Like a week ago, I probably wouldn't have really been looking at a tight end, but now we kind of need a tight end. So maybe, unless we pick up somebody in free agency, right? So perhaps Tate Ratledge is a really good score, especially at 58. That's a great look. Personally, somewhere between 58 and at 72, I would have picked a running back here or a wide receiver. Seth McLaughlin, solid, but I'm looking for the other two centers, and I think you found a little center there. I didn't get the chance to look at what you put together. Who was the center you were scouting there, Nomad?
You talking about the one that did the video on?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Eric. That's Eli Cox out of Kentucky.
Okay, all right.
Eli Cox. There's several centers, man, that I think are really, really sturdy and sound. And I did 3 of them in that last show we just did with FFG. Those are 3 that really stand out to me as really you just looking for a center. Doesn't need to be this omnipresent figure. He just needs to be smart. He needs to be solid, good anchor, good base, solid in pass protection, and aggressive in the run game.
I want a Zach Frazier. That's what I want, man. That's what I wanted last year, and he did good for the Steelers.
It's a few of those in this draft, man. But I think this is I think Mike was really concentrating on the trenches and making sure that he came out of this draft addressing that trench area and making sure we were tight up front on offense and defense. You can look at that and tell. You know, I mean, everybody ain't gonna agree with what somebody picks in their mock draft, but at least he was bold enough to give it to me, and so that we can put it on display. So I ain't got no problems with it, none whatsoever.
And I like Trevor Etienne at the end there too, as a bit of a lightning running back late in the draft. And I actually just found myself running through another mock last night, and he was one of those. He was my lightning at the very, very final pick too. So I see what you're trying to do here, sir, and I applaud it. But like I say, I'm this time around, especially watching what Detroit has done with the running back position over the past couple of seasons. I think we're getting a back here within the top, definitely by pick 72. I think there's a running back selected, and that's just my thoughts about this whole thing personally. And I was able to do this last night in that same mock. If they're able to trade back to like 14 or 15 or 18 even, and have Ashton Genty drop, I would, for the first time, I would not be mad at them picking a running back in the first.
I don't know about the first. I definitely would, but you never know what happens, man.
Like I said, if they trade back, if you've been able to scoop up additional capital first, then you're free and clear to do whatever you want. And and that's how it worked out for me. I was at obviously pick number 10. I traded back to pick 14, and here comes Ashton Genty at 14. And I was like, oh wow, okay, you know what I mean? Like I've got a bunch of extra picks now. I can spend one of these extra picks here and still fill the remaining holes. So Ryan Poles, good luck to you, man. Draft's going to be some craziness, but I like what was put down here. This is pretty decent.
All right.
Except for the kicker. What are you doing with the kicker? What was sorry. What did we just draft the kicker?
He's trying to save like $3 to $5 million, I think. I think that's
what we just draft one?
No, he's a kicker. That's a punter.
He's a punter. My bad. He's a punter. Okay. All right. Okay. That does save us some money on Cairo Santos. Hopefully the kid's good.
Any thoughts on this, Nick, before I bring it down?
Nope. I have no thoughts. So
all right. Thank you for that, Mike, man. And anybody else that wants to, mock a draft and send it to the email, the email, man, is nomadlivepod2023@gmail.com. If you need me to put it back on the screen, I will do it later. But let's get him into the business of being Chef Poles, man. Let's get him cooking, man. I'll tell you what, Mike. Nick, before we get going, what roles would you like me and Kedz to play? I can totally shut the fuck up and let you go. And Kedz can too. He can just press buttons. But any role you want us to play, I'm here for it.
You mean in terms of general manager or whatnot, or what do you mean?
You're calling the shots, bro. You're calling the shots.
You're calling the shot. I don't know anything about the college players that much. Let me see. Okay. Oh, you talking about free agents?
So I think you lined it up. So Nomad, you can be player personnel, all right? And I will be Ian Cunningham. I'll just steer you in the right direction as you're going. Is that fair?
I got you, man. I got you. Just give me a second. I'll be right back. But gin it up and get started off season. You got to get them started fixing this roster up first.
No worries. I've already got you one step ahead. So I've taken the liberty of going ahead and cutting Gerald Everett and DeMarcus Walker, just rounding me out. Salary cap is $282 and change $1 million. That is. We've already got our reserved for the $12 million reserved for our draft selections this year. At this point, active cap hit is $187. Dead money is $4 million. We are now at $78 million cap space. Do you want to do anything to increase that number to do cool stuff? So I'm not sure if there's really much to be done. The things I would suggest that you might want to look at here is maybe you restructure Montez Sweat, give him another year on the deal, or push his money to beyond his contract. In doing so, you can add an additional $13 million to what you have.
Isn't that similar to what they did with Peppers? But then at the very end, it bit him in the butt because Peppers, they couldn't re-sign him, where they just kept pushing it.
So I'd say it's more similar. So like I believe they did it with Peppers. They definitely did it with Khalil. The upside is that they were able to trade it out. So I think they wound up trading it out with Pep with Pep anyways. But you still like when you push it to the future, you still have to pay a percentage of it anyways.
Oh, okay.
But it's amortized over time, so you can sort of pay a smaller amount over the course of like the next few years. When you push it,
why not? Why not get that? Why not push it out an extra year for Sweat?
Okay, all right. So we'll restructure Sweat, and now we're looking at just
what happened, guys. What we just do?
So Nick thought that he might want to restructure Montez Sweat here. He has gained an additional $13 million on that salary cap. So we've now got 91 and change.
So what'd you do? Push a little money back?
Yeah, push a little bit of money into the future with Montez, and realistically, I don't see that being a problem because I expect him to probably re-sign the young man, right? So you might as well just roll that which you push into the future into the new contract anyways, and away you go with Montez Sweat. So I'm not too worried about that. The only other guys I would bring up here are guys who really didn't cut the mustard this season, and if there's any that save a couple of bucks. So scrolling through, save 120 bucks there, 120 mil. Dom Robinson, he saved $1 million. Do you want to keep Don Rob on the edge?
He's been a disappointment. See, the only thing that I don't know. So Allen being the new defensive coordinator, they're more going to be an attacking defense, from what I'm understanding. They're going to dictate the game, not just let the game come to them. Yeah. I'd like to see them give Booker more of a chance, and wouldn't Robinson take that away from him?
Well, I'm laughing because he would, in theory, if he ever was on the field and wasn't a healthy scratch week on week. And that's really the major reason why I'm putting him out there. He's $1 million. I don't really think he serves much purpose here. So,
isn't Hardy a defensive end? And he was killing it last year, right?
Yeah.
So, I would almost say let's cut Dom Rob because it gives Hardy and Booker more opportunities.
I agree with both of that. Okay. So I don't see Hardy here just now in this phase, but I think that's probably all that you might want to do. So we'll drop Dom Rob as well. Boom. Cut. So you're now at about 123, just shy of 100. Sorry, not $93 million, just shy of $93 million in cap room. Anybody else that you can think of that didn't really do much? Noah Sewell. Sorry, no.
I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him get a chance under Dennis Allen. I think he might have a resurrection under him.
Okay.
Or at least there's a chance.
I think that's the only other guy who commands enough money that is worth talking about. Everybody,
every now and again, gentlemen, just take a look at the chat. Just every now and again. I'm not saying focus on it, but just eyeball it once in a while. See what they're talking about. Joseph Archer wants to know. He says, "What can the Bears do with Tremaine Edmonds' contract?"
Joseph Archer, you sound like me, and in this case, I'm well aware of what it looks like. It's ugly. So it's right there on the screen for you now. He's making $17 million this season. So 13 mil of that is dead money. So they got to pay him 13 mil no matter what. Where are you, Jermaine? So the cap savings is only the remaining four and change. If they restructure him, you can turn that, you can push money into the future and turn that into $6 million. But here's where the the logic behind restructuring a Montez Sweat versus a Tremaine Edmonds goes, right? So if it was me, I'd restructure Montez with the idea and intention of extending him after his contract and rolling that money back into the new contract. I'm not so sure what Tremaine's progress is really going to be moving forward, right? Like, it's been pretty mediocre to be nice. So, if we push his money into the future, I have a strange feeling they're not really going to be looking to extend Tremaine. We need Tremaine to get her. Thank you. Like that, the scrolls hit the nail.
Man, don't pat scrolls on the back for that. You scroll, you piece of shit.
I got to pat him on the back for it because
that's thinking out of the box. There you go.
That's
scroll, you piece of work, you motherfucker. Why would you
paying somebody to set the car on fire to get out of the contract, get out of the deal, and get your insurance money back? That's basically what
that's cold-blooded, boy. That's cold.
You're only getting $4 million back. I would have made the suggestion because, again, I'm not really confident in what he's been doing. What I can say is I can't really think of another linebacker at this present time that you can bring in to fill that role. We'll see.
Well, and give him a chance under Allen's defense. See if he resurrects or does something.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I think we've done what we need to do. I think the last guy to talk about would be Cole Kmet again. So I was off a little bit. Oh no, I'm not off. So if you cut Cole, you save $7 million, just shy of $7 million. If you restructure him, you save just shy of $5 million. We're paying about 11.6 for him. Keep Cole?
Yeah, keep him. I want to see what he does under the new coaching staff.
Perfect. All right. So I think those are really the bulk of the guys that are to be talked about. I think there's one final guy, and I have no interest in talking about this because I think he played fantastic last season. And that guy's Kevin Byard.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, yeah. Or in terms of people saying that, yeah, keep him.
Okay. So what do you want to do? You want to keep him? Like
I would keep him just because with Brisker being kind of iffy sometimes, keep someone there for at least another year, see what happens.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I'm totally with that. I think you're ready to continue because I don't really think there's anybody else of interest for cutting. Let me just check the chat, see if everybody. Oh, will they keep Jack Sanborn? Is Jack Sanborn on the list here? I think he's in the next phase. I don't see Jack Sanborn here.
I think we should keep Sanborn.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, so let's continue on. I think we're good. We've done good things thus far. Raise that cap situation. And now we're on to re-sign and tag players. So I'm going to go through some of these guys, and we will re-sign them as you see fit. Let's start with Mr. Sanborn. Let me find him first. Where is he? Oh, we don't have to re-sign him. Looks like he's already spoken.
I just want to say, Scrooge, you a piece of work. You know that, right? You a piece of work. That shit was ridiculous, man. I just wanted to say that out in the open, man. That was wild.
It's pretty funny. It was pretty funny. Okay, so I don't see Jack Sanborn on this list right now, somebody that we have to re-sign or tag or anything to that effect. The rest of these guys, we do. So just to make sense of what we're looking at here, because it confused me for a second, this is the transition tag value. So if we were to if we were to place the transition tag on Adrian Colbert, we would be on the hook for $15 million for Adrian Colbert at the safety position, because that's the median salary for the safety position. Same token, franchise tag value. If we were to franchise tag Adrian Colbert, we're paying just under $20 million because that is the top average value of at the safety position. In this scenario, we're talking about Adrian Colbert. He doesn't really deserve either one of those types of numbers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think so. Yeah.
Hey kids, do you know how to reshuffle this this frame lineup with us in there and get Nick above me. You know how to reshuffle that? Because I don't know how to do it.
Booyah.
There you go. All right. So I can put all the chat up I want. So everybody can see. No, I'm irrelevant in this show.
There you go. Got you straightened out. Okay, so we're gonna start with Adrian Colbert. Do you want to re-sign Adrian Colbert?
No.
You don't. Okay.
No.
Amir Speed. Do you want to re-sign Amir Speed, cornerback?
I have no knowledge I have no knowledge of him. Did he play at all last year?
A couple of times, yeah.
Huh.
Couple of times he did actually play. I have to say that. And I found it super weird because personally, I thought that Nomad, what's his name, bro? Who am I trying to talk about? Oh man. Who was the undrafted cornerback?
Undrafted
Cornerback.
We're talking about
Reddy Stewart. Thank you very much. I thought
Reddy's already gone, man.
I know, bro. That's what I'm complaining about, right? So they decided to keep Amir Speed and let go Reddy Stewart. I believe Reddy Stewart is in he's a Viking now. In any event, I thought he was the better of the two, but they seem to like Amir Speed. Did you want to re-sign Amir Speed? It sounds like they want to re-sign him.
So if we re-sign him, we have to re-sign him at one of those values right there?
No, and that's why I brought those two numbers up to you. So we can sign him for peanuts.
We might as well, just for some depth.
Cool. So let's try 2-year deal. Doesn't really need, you know what? I'm going to try it like that. Oh, rejected. That's fine. We'll get Amir Speed for cheap, trust me. So like 1, 2 years. Nah, he took it. All right. Amen Agbangbamiga. I just like saying that last name because I can pronounce it. In any event, Amen is really good. He's a great linebacker, at least in my opinion. Did you want to re-sign him?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Okay. Nomad, feel free to chime in on any of these players that you are.
Man, set your ass down.
Damn.
I ain't saying shit.
Okay, we're gonna sign Amen for the same amount. Oh, come on, Amen. Fine. I know you actually played last season.
Until he calls on me, I'm gonna let him operate.
All right. Come on, Amen. You did this the last time too. You think you're worth a lot?
Oh no, man! I got to call on you if you want to join.
I mean, if you need a little pointer about what direction to go, I got you.
Oh, okay.
Amen's playing hardball, man. I'm gonna make one more offer to Amen Agbangbamiga.
Because this is like totally new to me. I've never done this before nor thought about it.
Neither one of us did it before until we did it. It's just
okay. Amen's playing hardball, so we'll maybe I'll come back to him later on. Let's ignore that. What about Austin Reed, quarterback?
I would say re-sign him. We need some young developmental quarterbacks.
I have to agree with that. We need.
I'm tired of not ever producing, and because we can always use him as trade bait down the road.
Okay, he signed for next to nothing. That's perfect. What about Big Bill?
Yeah, re-sign him. He showed some nastiness.
Who is this? Who is this?
Bill Murray.
This is Groundhog Day, right?
Yeah. Until he got hurt, man. That was a good
until he got hurt.
I got Bill Murray for 1.2 on a 2-year deal. This is looking sweet. Byron Coward.
I think didn't he show some good stuff last year too?
I want to say Byron Coward was one of those early cap casualties. I believe he was.
Think we got rid of Coward already?
I think it's not that they're not going to try to get him again later, but I think they got rid of him early to reshuffle this roster.
Oh,
I believe he was one of those. It's like 8 guys that got rid of like 8 dudes, and I think he was one of them. And I was surprised by that, but unsurprised when it comes to reshuffling his salary cap.
Hold on.
I think he's a free agent, bro. Yeah, I'm almost certain that he's a free agent. Yeah,
I don't see that anywhere. But did you want to re-sign him? Coward's okay, but at the same time, all of the interior pass rush guys that weren't draft picks in my mind are in question. And what I mean by that is Andrew Billings, you're definitely keeping him. He kept basically our team was tops in run defense with him on the line. Mm-hmm. As soon as he left, Cowart comes in, Chris Williams comes in. Those guys just did not do the job. So, in my opinion, both of those guys should be sort of in question. The one guy who's less in question, because when they finally got him, he started to do the job quite well, is Jerome Ford? Is it?
Yeah, Jerome Ford.
Jonathan Ford. Jerome Ford's a running back. Jonathan Ford. So, up to you. Do you want to re-sign Byron Cowart, or do you want to let him test free agency?
Okay, Nomad. I need to call an audible here. Between him and Chris Williams, who would you keep?
I'd say okay. Since we're talking about trying to get a quality backup behind, we're not talking about backing up, Javon Dexter. We're talking about backing up, the nose guard. And the more physical player is Byron Cowart. I love what Chris Williams brought to the table. Love what he brought to the table. So I think if you can keep Byron Cowart, you need to do due diligence with him. He's a great rotational piece.
Okay.
So
Let's go ahead and re-sign him then.
Okay. Cowart ain't paying you big money because
he knows his value,
bro. That
if he doesn't take this first contract, let his ass go.
Oh, he's playing hardball, so I'll leave that up to you guys.
So did you sign Jonathan Ford?
Not yet. Watch.
You haven't gotten to him yet.
Maybe get him booked up first. And then you got options with Cowart.
Oh, okay.
I'll get John Ford.
Then maybe you can grab Chris Williams after that.
Good. Oh, okay. All right, fine.
He probably needs a couple of $100 more thousand.
I'll give him the same thing I was offering the other guy. He'll take it. There you go.
So you got Billings' backup. Now you're looking for a backup for Javon Dexter. Now you might want to go after Chris Williams since you couldn't get Cowart.
Okay. So who does Pickens back up? Because he's been kind of MIA.
So Pickens is the backup to Javon Dexter, and now you trying to sign the third guy.
Okay.
Yeah, Pickens was really supposed to be the other guy beside Javon. They had them both switch in and play both. End of the day, Billings is the man at that other side, next to Dexter. So Pickens sort of subs in. So this guy's not working out. We're going to look at Chris Williams. We're going to offer him 1.2 on a 2-year deal, and Chris Williams is going to take it for sure. Sorry, Byron, you're out. Carl Jones Jr., edge rusher. I don't think he got a snap last season.
I was going to say I don't know any. I know the name. I just don't know anything about him.
Okay.
Nomad, you got an opinion?
Let him go.
Okay.
Chris Glazer, very similar words on the he's an offensive guard with all the troubles at guard. He didn't see the field, so I don't know if he's somebody we want to keep.
Yeah, we can let him go.
Okay. Coleman Shelton, center.
Okay. So is this in preparation for free agency?
Mm-hmm.
So you know for a fact that you're gonna draft a center, number one.
We better draft a center.
You know you're gonna sign us, probably gonna sign a center in free agency. If you can, the right center if you can. So you're gonna have 2 guys. And you're only gonna have 3 on the roster. We already have Ricky Stromberg.
I was gonna say, what about Ricky Stromberg compared to Coleman Shelton?
I'd say take chances and go to the draft and go to the free agency. Let Coleman Shelton see free agency.
So here's the only reason that I'm going to push back a little bit on this. When we get to the center position in free agency, if we cut Coleman Shelton, he's going to be somewhere around the third from the top. Right? There's going to be maybe 2 guys above him in free agency, one being Dalman.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Right? So my thought is
center on that top 100 players.
You pay him, you keep Ricky Stromberg, you develop Stromberg as opposed to drafting a center this time around. I know, I'm sorry, Chad. Everybody wants to draft a center, I know. but
I want to draft the center.
you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, my thoughts here is you keep this guy because you don't want to get any worse, and it's going to be a little bit tough getting better in free agency.
And then if you upgrade the guard position, that might make him better.
And maybe you get a guard. Maybe you draft a guard who also has taken some snap at center too.
You guys mind if I wedge into the conversation real quick? Just real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
This is our community, man. This is our little family over here. We love what we have going on over here. And one of the super nomaniacs, Marlon Johnson, says, "What's good, family? Y'all pray for your boy, man. Really struggling right now." And so I'm gonna give you, Marlon. I'm giving you some super duper good ass vibes right now. Sending them to you, man. Great vibes to you to be able to overwhelm and overcome whatever it is that's going on in your life right now, and hopefully it's only temporary.
Yeah,
it's only temporary, and you shall proceed moving forward in a prosperous way, man. That's the good vibes for you, Marlon. Got you over here, man. Trust me.
Yeah, big ups to you, Marlon. It's a real world out there. Real life does continue on, inside and outside of all this. So, prayers up, man. I don't know what you're going through, but I'm going through stuff. Think we all are. Prayers up for everybody.
Yeah.
Real talk.
I agree. Hang in there, Marlon. Hang in there.
Bro. All right. So I think I'm not sure where we left off, but I think you might want to consider restructuring Coleman Shelton.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's do that.
All right. Let's see what we can get him for. He's gonna be a little bit more pricey, but I think this might do. Oh, it was close. I know it was close. We're going to go.
So you offering Coleman?
Mm-hmm.
Marlon, everything going to be good, bro. Trust me. You're going to be all right, man.
Oh, boy.
Same to you, Trapper Keeper. He says he's in the same struggle. Good vibe to you too, sir.
Bruh, it's a struggle out there for everyone. Like, I wish it wasn't. It's struggling. What I can tell you about me personally, things are starting to look up because it can't go further down, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, the downs were down, man. Downs are low. The lows are low right now.
This is the comfort area. This is when we get to eat cake doing this Bears fan content, man. This Bears content is when we get to eat cake. Real life is always lurking outside that content zone. You know what I mean? And so
that's why we need the Bears to be good.
We ain't lying about that, dude.
Because I tell you right now, I got so apathetic this last season. That's why I just had to there are too many other things in real life, right? So,
bro, imagine you had a podcast every.
Oh, I know. I know. That's why I was kind of MIA for the most part, because I had to separate myself. So
it was like I had no means of separating myself. Here we go. It's a problem. And okay, so Coleman Shelton is being a bit of a stickler, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
We're gonna double back to Coleman Shelton
because he knows the Bears need a center.
and he'll get good again. He'll be the top 3 center in free agency. So he'll get good money regardless. We'll come back. I'll give him a better offer there, but let's see what we can do with the rest of these guys. I know you already brought up Daniel Hardy earlier on. I assume you want to keep him.
Yeah, let's keep him.
Okay. He's gonna balk at this number. Oh, he took it. Look at you, Dan. Love it.
What you getting for?
Like $1.2 million. Not a lot. I'm not spending a lot on any of these guys. Darrell Taylor. Did you want to keep Darrell Taylor on?
He why not? He flashed. I mean, I think he did he fall off a little bit as the season went on, or
I think
he started off pretty strong.
I think as a defense struggled, he had his struggles, but the flash.
I would say let's keep him.
I'd say the same thing, man. If I could,
he showed some He showed some beast out there.
So I'm gonna load up a contract for him while I deter that as an idea, because I think you should save money on both Darrell and John Martin, the other two guys at the edge, and put that money towards a bigger edge in free agency.
Oh yeah, Jonathan Martin did pretty good too, didn't he?
All three. I mean,
yeah,
those two and Austin Booker were okay on the edge. My thought is you're paying three guys.
Yeah,
two of them out. Pull that money, and put it all towards somebody quality.
All right. So, wait a minute. Hold on, kid. What world you Ian Cunningham?
I'm Ian, man. I'm Ian.
All right.
So same token, up to you. If you want me to bring back Darrell Taylor and or John Martin, I can do that. Jacob Martin, my bad.
Let's do both. Why not?
You want to bring them both back?
Yeah.
Right on. Where's my guy? Darrell. You'll take peanuts because you had a sucky season. I'll offer you 1-3.
Marlon's got a good question because I have no idea who they're looking at if they don't get Dalman.
Yeah, I got some ideas.
Hey, we got Doug Kramer.
I don't think there's a. I think I'm telling y'all guys, man. I'm thinking they think Ricky Stromberg is a piece. I think he's a piece if he comes back all the way healthy.
I was gonna say, wasn't his issue the fact that he just wasn't healthy?
Yeah, you got it. It's just like the situation that happened with Ogunjobi. The guy came off of a surgery and had the rest.
Oh, got it.
You know what I mean? You got to certain surgeries, man. You got to give it a year to really find out what kind of functionality you're going to get out of that body.
So why? So didn't he get cut by the Commanders?
Yeah.
So why would they cut him if? I'm just curious. Was it obviously injury? Were they just sick of waiting for him? How long has it been since he was drafted?
I don't know that he got cut. Did he get cut, or was he just sitting there on the practice squad because he was going through something? I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Okay.
These edge rushers are looking for good money.
Do you think they'd look at if Ryan Bates can get healthy? Do you think they'd look at him at center again?
I think they're either stuck with that contract or they just got to let it go outright.
They are stuck with the contract, so there is that situation. They're not gonna get very much by way of cutting him. The contract is what they wanted to pay in the first place. So again, I think he's your fourth center, if you will, because he's taking snaps. He can play the position. But, I think it's probably a Dalman and or Coleman Shelton situation.
Yeah.
As well as Stromberg. Maybe they dip into center in the draft. I think you just shore up that position and hope you can develop Stromberg. Because I think Stromberg's really good.
I think Minister's right. I think they said they're going to keep Stromberg.
So let's get something clear. And I know I'm getting you on the spot right here, Nick. But who's your first priority come free agency? I think that'll help settle down some things.
Well, I mean, there's Trey Smith. I mean, we need some guards, man. And then I would say probably Trey Smith. And if that don't work out, Dalman. I just think I just want to build them trenches, man. I'm tired of the offensive line sucking. So,
so you're going to guard or you're going center? One of those two guys.
I'm thinking guard first because our guards are the inside's all weak, but I would say hit guard first. Okay, so now that you know that as a baseline, seems like you should formulate everything you're doing right here at this point where you are on this roster based on that. Okay, so
you're gonna get one of them, whichever one you target first. You're gonna get them. Okay,
that sounds good. That's fine.
All right, so I'm having a heck of a time getting Darrell Taylor to take a team friendly, so we'll circle back to him afterwards. Darrington Evans, do you want to re-sign running back Darrington Evans?
Yes. Yeah, he's always been good when he's called upon.
I love the kid, to be frank.
Yeah.
Strangely.
And he's always rooting for the Bears, even when he's on other teams.
Strangely, you know? I would cut his ass. What are you trying to get? He always gives me trouble too, man. And I'm giving him all his money up front here. No. See, this little Sim's kind of smart because Darrington Evans is in a position where he just wants to be on a football team. Okay, there we go. All right. We got him. DeAndre Carter. Do you want to re-sign DeAndre Carter, wide receiver, returner?
Well, do we have any other returners? Is it just Rome? Oh, is he a kick returner or is he a punt returner?
I don't remember.
I think he's a kick returner.
He's a kickoff returner.
Can we get him for a team-friendly deal? Because I don't know if we had any others besides, and Rome was a punt returner.
No chance. Any wide receiver is going to look for good cash.
Yeah.
But I will try. Oh, he took a dirty team deal. I love it. So DeMarcus Walker, we've already opted out on him. Dom Robb, we've opted out on him. Doug Kramer, any reason to keep that particular center?
No, no, he hasn't showed anything.
Okay. Douglas Coleman, 3, safety. I don't think he saw a snap last season.
Yeah, I don't know anything about him. We can, unless Nomad, you think differently, I'd say let's just cut him.
Okay. Gerald Everett, we've cut. Oh, here's Jack Sanborn here.
No, I think we should keep Sanborn.
Okay, I do as well. Let's offer him a little something. I'm gonna give him $2 million.
I like what Minister's bringing up with the Zabel kid.
So, yeah. What is he saying here? If you
draft him and move him to
center, like that's brilliant, right? That is brilliant. He's exactly that guy. If you could move from guard, he shores up guard, shores up potentially center. He's in a weird spot given your draft picks, though. I will put that out there, but we'll see if we can target Gray Zabel. So let's give him a little bit up front, 30%. Boom, he took it. Love it. Sanborn for $2 million, 2-year deal. That's just fucking great. Sorry.
At some point, never mind. I'm gonna shut up because we gotta like that number 44 has got to see the field at some point. I know that.
Who? Wait, 44. Who? I'm sorry, Nomad. Who are you talking about?
We're talking about the Polynesian kid, man.
Oh, Sewell.
Noah Sewell.
Yeah.
But it's already.
I think you're going to see him probably this year. I wouldn't be. But I see what you're saying.
It's going to be at the like. There's a conversation being had out there about, what it would cost for them to cut TJ Edwards, and that it makes me want to puke saying that right now. But
cut who?
You just heard me, bro. TJ Edwards.
No, he's going to get arrested for some reason. Like, they're going to just void the rest of the contract.
No, time out. TJ Edwards' contract is great.
Not Edwards. You're talking about
not Tremaine Edmonds.
Tremaine Edmonds.
Okay, have you plucked this kids? Huh? Because it sounds to me like they can hold like I don't know what it was.
Notice I didn't even bring up his name at all. He was in.
You don't want to. You know how good.
No. I do know how good he is, and I also don't want to. Like I gotta agree with both those things because they're true. But the money associated, the contract they signed this guy to was so friendly, y'all. Super friendly.
Edwards, and hasn't Edwards been producing the most too?
Edwards is everywhere.
They play two different roles, man. I think people got to understand that the middle linebacker in Fluce's scheme is going to play third, and that's the middle of the field most of the time. And Edwards is around the ball more, like Lance Briggs was. In this scheme that Dennis Allen is going to play, those dudes are going to be tacking the ball. There's not going to be a whole lot of I'm playing thirds, I'm playing back in coverage like he was with Fluce. Those dudes are going to be getting after the ball. Tremaine is fast and it can tackle. So is TJ. And so I think people have to understand they're going to be playing a lot more man-to-man than zone. And so you don't have linebackers running back and chasing all the time playing in zone coverage. You're going to have them chasing down ball carriers.
Wasn't Sewell also known as a good blitzer coming out of college?
He's a great blitzer.
Yeah.
It's a great blitzer. He's perfect for what I did.
I was going to say. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm just saying.
I like what Marlon says here.
I just want to say now, if somehow over the course of the next 5 months, TJ Edwards is not on this football team and he's replaced by Noah Sewell, I'll have a small hissy fit on live on Nomad Live, like for sure. Anyhow, just wanted to put that out there.
There is a linebacker in free agency that has ties to Dennis Allen. He just won the Super Bowl, and he did it as a replacement. So I'm just saying, Zach Bond is a name that you guys might want to keep an eye on.
You notice you're talking. I know exactly what you're talking about, and like he was TJ Edwards' replacement on that team, was he not?
No, actually, it was number 17, the guy that got out of Georgia. They wanted to get him on the field. What's his name? I can't think of his name, but they got him, Jalen Carter, and they got big number 90 somewhere around the same time. And they were letting go of guys to get people on the field. And so TJ just happened to be a casualty of that situation.
Okay.
Zach Bond was a special teamer all season long until 17 got hurt. And then next thing you know, he came up and played some great linebacker. So he just made him a couple $1 million.
Okay, all right. I wouldn't be mad if he winds up on the team. He can play, but same token, man, we're talking about the wrong position. Let's get through the rest of this stuff. So no Dominique, no DeMarcus, no Dominique, no Doug Kramer, no Coleman, no Everett. Sanborn's resigned. Jacob Martin's resigned. Jake Curhan at offensive tackle. Do you want Jake Curhan?
Is he like the backup to the?
He's like the backup to the backup to the backup.
That's good depth, Nick.
To the backup.
It's good depth. Okay, then yeah, let's go with.
Really?
It is.
I can't give an honest answer.
Let me before you do this, kids. Let me preface this by saying you might be wanting to look at a couple of guards in free agency. You might want to consider a couple of guards in free agency if you don't go balls in on Trey Smith. You might want to look at 2 other guards, and that's why I say think about that before you make this choice right here.
I would probably be looking at a tackle as well in free agency too. I think that might be important because we're likely about to cut Larry Borum, who would be your like one of these. Okay, so offensive tackle, you've got Larry Borum, who should be re-signed or not. We have to make a decision on him. We also have to make a decision on Jake Curran. Larry Borum actually sees the field. Jake virtually doesn't.
Yeah, but does Larry Borum even produce?
Fair. I think you cut them both.
Yeah. I mean, there's always, hey, re-sign Tevin and make him a tackle.
That's crazy.
It's been talked about in the past. A lot of people saying he hasn't been in the right position.
I've said it. Nomad said it too. So let's go down to him just because we're talking about him. Tev Jenkins, do you want to re-sign Tev or do you want to let him go? I think he's pretty much on the chopping block at this point. But
I think he's on the chopping block too. But I mean, weren't people saying that if he gets re-signed, he's going to want a lot of money?
Of course.
I'll give you a little bit on this one. I think
if
you let Tev go right now, I think you can catch him on the back end I think you can get him in the second round. There's going to be another little go around for this. You'll be able to fill out your roster.
Oh, meaning that he won't find anybody.
He won't find what he's looking for.
Got it. And then you'll get him from a better deal.
Yeah.
He's right. Same token, you can definitely upgrade at the guard position. There's a fair amount. Like if you let him go, there's probably 10 guards above him in free agency as well. So that's why I'm looking at.
Well, then let's let him go. I mean, he's been. Yeah.
All right, rounding out a couple more guys. Theo Benedict, the Canadian Eagle.
I say we keep him because I think he was injured.
Don't let Kedz talk you into the shit.
I didn't. I just said he's the Canadian Eagle. That's all I said, bro.
No. I would have kept him anyway because it seemed like he had potential, but he just got injured. So
that's right. I'm actually just going to give him a vanilla deal, and he took it. Perfect. Travis Homer, running back, special teamer.
I said we can let him go.
Okay. I was waiting for Nomad to chime in. He did not. I'm surprised.
I'm not. I'm trying to stick to it, man. I'm trying to.
Nomad, if you disagree, feel free to add your knowledge, man. So
Kedz is he's just trying to goad me into the shit. I'm not following.
I just
set your ass down.
I know the players he has that have a special place in his heart, and that's definitely one of them. To various more safety. Any interest?
I don't know anything about him. What do you guys say?
I think you're getting a safety in draft or free agency.
Tarvarius Moore, I think you let him go now and then try to check him on the back end.
Okay, then let's let him go then.
Steven Carlson, tight end.
Yeah, was he a blocking tight end more? I think.
I think he was one of those tweeners. He's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Ain't nothing wrong with him, but at the same time,
I mean,
I'm sure you can upgrade here too.
Yeah, why not? We'll just let him go.
Here's another one: Scott Daly, long snapper versus.
Well, Patrick Scales was higher. Well, it depends on how well Patrick Scales is back from his injury.
So, and this is it. But Patrick Scales is also, I think, the same age as me. So there's that factor.
Well, I mean, Scott Daly. I mean, if he, like I said, I wasn't watching too many Bears games. If he was producing just as well, then might as well keep youth over.
I'll tell you, I'll give you my little 2 cents in on when it comes to special teams guys.
Mm-hmm.
From my experience, you leave those motherfuckers alone. If it's working, don't fuck with it.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with it. Because man, dude, that shit can go left real fast fucking around with them special teams.
Yeah. Well, except for Santos, because, he was kind of inconsistent.
I got you, Beartooth. Now I'm gonna get some more cut-ups. I got some more in there. Trust me, man. I was all night long thinking about.
Man, I'm trying to get MF'd all day long for God's sake. What was gonna happen? MF and snakes.
Rob. Shut up.
MF and Clay. Ricky Stromberg, we're gonna sell. Damn.
Yeah, what you said, you ain't gonna be too many more motherfuckers.
I ain't gonna be too many more motherfuckers, yeah.
Sam Jackson waiting to show up. All right, Ricky Stromberg got him for a minimum deal. We signed. So we did not look at that situation. So Simba Webster would be the other return guy. Do you want to keep Simba or do you want to keep we already signed Carter. So do you still want to keep Simba Webster?
Was he from a backup wide receiver position? How was he?
Thing about Simba Webster is he was hurt.
Oh,
so I couldn't even tell you.
Well, we can always cut him and then sign him on the back end if he's still available if we need someone.
This is true. Next guy to really consider is Matt Pryor.
So he'd be a good backup, just not a starter.
Who, Matt Pryor?
Yeah.
He's a great backup guard and great backup tackle, right?
Yeah. So you might as well just re-sign him just for some depth.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll give him a low wallet share deal, 2 years. No, Matt Pryor, what it do, bro? All right, I'll give you a little bit more money and a little bit more up front. 3, 2, and I'll give it 50% up front. No, I'll give you a little bit more because we're getting rid of the other 2 guys.
Charles.
Wow. These are the decisions that need to be made, Charles, bro. They got to be made. You know, Rondo's sitting in his room somewhere sweating about all of this stuff because everybody wants to be paid, and some of these folks don't really deserve to be paid.
I'm quiet about it right now, Charles. It don't mean I ain't tight about it. I'm tight. I'm just letting the shit play out.
He's gonna give me the smackdown when I'm done.
No, I ain't. I'm gonna let you do your thing, man, because we all watch these players, man, and our value differs.
Well, but you know, I'm also flying blind with some of these because I didn't watch a lot of these players. So
it's all you doing well, man. You're doing just fine. Because you got the second go around after you go through free agency to really redeem whatever you did or didn't do. That's the beautiful thing about it.
Okay, I'm gonna give him a 3-year deal. 50% up front. Damn, Matt Pryor, you want some good paper, bro. All right.
You guys ever watch that movie, The Replacements, back in with Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Let's just bring Replacements in.
I'm a sucker for just about anything Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Nomad, it's a good movie. It's like from like 2000 or something like that, or 1999.
I see it up on Netflix all the fucking time. And
it's a good movie. It's a good movie.
Mr. Charles is cussing you out. Don't put it up there.
Well, like, you know, Charles, I'm trying to save this guy some money here, man.
Minister, it's a team-friendly deal.
I'm trying to
hey, Mr. Charles, he already told you.
I ain't gonna meet too many more motherfuckers, yeah?
I'm trying to McCaskey this thing here.
Oh boy.
Not feeling it. Okay, there we go. Matt Pryor got signed to a pretty big, so far probably the biggest contract so far on this team. Mercedes Lewis, again, we're pushing my age. No interest. Larry Borum, we said we're probably going to let him go into free agency.
Yeah,
big name, Keenan Allen. Do you want to re-sign Keenan Allen?
This is the one I'm kind of mixed on. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I mean, he had some good moments and he had definitely bad moments. So
I thought he was fantastic, but
he was when he caught the ball. So
but he caught the ball more frequently than most of the players. Like I'm gonna give him some props, but I don't mean to do it to I think you should cut him in a major way. Major reasons is he's old.
Yeah.
He's 32. He's going to be commanding probably about $18 million on the low. And I think you can simply do better. And the other reason,
well then you convinced me then. Let's cut him then.
All right.
Can I add something to Keenan Allen? I think that probably is getting overlooked with everybody. As much as people, I like to see Keenan Allen stay here in Chicago. But I know for a fact that those starting that first 4 receivers that are going to be in that rotation, it's going to always be that spare receiver. But those guys are going to need to commit to blocking. Keenan Allen don't get committed to no blocking. Keenan Allen, he ain't. And I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't see that guy as a fit in what Ben Johnson's probably going to want to do. He needs guys to get down the field and block.
Yeah.
You said it. There's another reason. The other reason for me is like I think Caleb needs to build a rapport with Rome and DJ. I think that's very important this season, much more so than building a rapport with a guy who's going to retire in the next season or two.
Yeah.
Jordan Murray, tight end.
I have no idea. What would you guys say?
I'd say cut him.
Okay, cut him.
I'm not familiar with him.
Let him walk.
Blackwell, keep him.
Yeah, figured you'd say that. Let's give him.
Hey, Nomad, we can always bring back St. Brown. He was a good blocker.
I mentioned that on a show a couple weeks ago, I think.
Now you're talking.
He actually did you hear him on the podcast? He actually told his brother, like, "Oh, tell Johnson about me" or something.
Hell yeah, campaigning, and then he's a good fit. He knew what he was talking about. He'd be a perfect fit in what they want to do. He's a downfield blocker, man. He commits to it.
Okay, so there's only a couple more we need to go through before we can get past this phase, and I think there's 2 guys I got to go back to. So, Samori Toure, wide receiver. I don't think he saw the field.
Yeah, I was going to say I have no idea about him. We can probably just cut him.
Cool. We went through all those guys. Did we sign Ricky Strong? Yes, we did. Larry Borum. Jordan Murray, we just talked about him. No love. John Jackson is Caleb Williams' best friend. Do you want to give him money?
We still have him? I thought we cut him.
Yeah, we did. Then we brought him back for this for like preseason. He's not going to make the 53. So.
Yeah. No, we can cut him.
Okay. Joel Wilson, another tight end I've never heard of.
I don't know anything about this. Yeah.
Fair enough. Jalen Jones.
Yeah, let's keep him.
Okay.
I will say we got one of the deepest secondaries.
Yeah, man. And yeah, no problem. He took a good little piece of team friendly. Yeah. Jamri Chroma, edge rusher.
How did he do? I mean, I know the name. I just don't know how he produced.
Don't think he did, but Nomad, I'll throw that at you.
I think he's I think you let him go now.
Okay.
And then if you need to fill in some roster spots later, then you look back at it.
Okay.
So most of this is done here. Colin Johnson, wide receiver, 6'6".
He was the preseason darling. Did he do anything during the season?
Not a thing.
Got him, man.
I would
say again.
How many wide receivers do we have right now? Because we know we've cut some.
Yeah, we've cut a few, but it's free agency, right? You can get a couple.
Yeah, well, we can cut them and then always re-sign them, maybe.
Okay.
If we really had to.
Okay. Chris Glazer, Carl Jones. All right, so Adrian Colbert, did we want to sign him at all?
I think we already made the choice to let him go and see if we can get him on the other side.
I was going to say, I think that's what we did, yeah.
We did. So the last guy to try again with was Coleman Shelton. I'm going to give Coleman $5 million, 2 years, 50% up front, and he took it. All right, cool.
He had to get that in. He likes Coleman Shelton.
Who, me?
Yeah,
I don't like him at all, to be honest with you. I think we can do a heck of a lot better than Coleman Shelton. I just don't want to jeopardize the floor. You know what I mean? That's probably the easiest way for me to put it, right? Like if we move him out, we just have Stromberg and maybe Ryan Bates at the position. We haven't seen much of Ryan Bates there. I don't want it to get worse, is all I'm saying. Like, what if we don't get Dalman now? You know what I mean? Like it's
you draft.
Yeah, but then you're putting the rookie in a tumultuous situation.
We've seen rookies that get it done, man. That's why you get a guy. That's why you get a guy that's been through it. Like every one of those centers, I put 3 centers up.
So, Nomad, were you saying that you would cut Shelton?
Yes, absolutely.
I
watched that dude get dog walked too many times to understand that I know we can get better at center.
Yeah. Well, I'd be okay cutting him then. I mean, Nomad's not wrong. So
Kedz already gave him $5 million.
Okay.
I just took it away. You cut him?
Did he get arrested too or something? We can just renege it, right?
We can do that.
I guess so. All right. So we're flying by the seat of our pants. We got a hurt Ricky Stromberg at center, and maybe.
Well, is he still hurt? Isn't he? Is he healthy again?
There's no way to know until we go through training camp and find out if he's okay, right? So that's why I'm like, keep Coleman Shelton. That's
all I know is on that guy had a lot of upside. He was like probably my favorite center coming out in that draft.
He was dope. Everybody was screaming Stromberg. I was. So the problem is he's just been hurt the whole darn time and hasn't seen the field.
Everything you see in the who is it, Linderbaum and everything I see in Linderbaum, I see in this kid, Stromberg.
Oh, okay. Did they come out in the same draft? I think.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I can't remember which draft. I think it was 2 years ago, right?
Y'all help me out in the chat, man. Which draft did Linderbaum and Stromberg?
Well, Linderbaum came out with the Kyler Gordon and Brisker draft.
Okay, so that might have been a year.
Okay,
ahead. That might have been a year ahead with Linderbaum.
Because I remember that because I remember I wanted the Bears to get him, but the Ravens chose him. So
Stromberg was 2023. So he's just 2 years ago.
Okay, yeah, he's younger.
So he's still on the rookie contract. To be frank,
he never played, huh? He hasn't played at all in the NFL. Oh wow!
Let's look at snaps. He's played 5 games, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been hurt
and then got injured, and he's just been out ever since.
That's it. That's Ricky Stromberg. So again, if we can get him back up to snuff, I think he's really the guy, fingers crossed, who takes over the center position. But only time will tell.
I wonder what the injury is.
I can probably tell you that too. No. Oh, knee injury.
Oh.
I think it was an ACL.
No, it's knee.
ACL.
I'm telling you, it's a knee.
It's an ACL, bro.
Are you sure? Because I'm looking at it and it says knee right here on spot.
MCL is all in the same quarters.
All right. Cool. So I think we're done here. We're going to move forward into the next phase, which is the free agency phase. And boom. Here we go. Top edge rusher, good old Khalil Mack. I got a decent looking stuff here so far in free agency. Where would you like me to look first for you? You've got yourself basically $66 million to spend in free agency. I think that's a great amount of money. You're shored up the better part of the team, and we'll go through everybody who's here afterwards.
Yeah, let's go to guard.
Sure. Oh, wow. Tevin Jenkins is a second guy in the list. Would you believe that with Mr. Fries? Want some fries with that shake?
Was he the guy? Is Fries? Is he the one from Indianapolis?
No.
No? Okay.
Will Fries. Yeah, he is from Indianapolis, bro. He's from
That's a guard?
Yeah, he's from Indianapolis. He's 26 years old.
Because I heard he was like the second, like if we couldn't get Smith, then Fries would be the next guy to go after.
Wait a minute. All right. I've been watching too much shit. Fries is okay. So no, man. I think he's too much of a. Never mind. I'm shut up.
No, man. You can help, man. You can be the assistant. I'm okay.
He's player personnel, so you should.
I believe this, man. I think the center is the sounding board of everything, and you just address everything moving forward from there, making sure that if you don't feel comfortable with what you did in restructuring this roster, and you don't feel comfortable in this draft, I think you might be interested in getting you a veteran center under a young quarterback.
Oh, I see. Since we cut Shelton,
so you want to look at centers?
Well, let's go look at centers. Yeah, let's go look at Dalman then.
Okay.
How much is he going to cost you?
Somehow Dalman was re-signed. Would you believe that?
Oh, is that what that? Okay.
So there's other guys, man. There's other guys.
Hey, look, there's Coleman Shelton. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, number 2 in the list. You know what I'm saying? I said number 3. I was off.
Yeah, because Dalman was number 1.
Dalman's number 1, right? Like Dalman will be number 1 in this simulation.
How was Josh Myers? Was he? I don't know anything about the guy.
Yeah, because ain't everybody checking for center play. Oh, Josh. Oh, why did I make that sound?
Yeah, why did you?
Because Josh Myers plays for what team, Nomad?
The goddamn Packers.
You know exactly what team they play for. right?
Okay, now it
You
makes
know he's a good center if
he
he
could be our next Lucas Patrick. Okay.
No, don't let that get into your head. Josh Myers is very good. Josh Myers is very good.
No. Let's try to offer. Let's make an offer to Myers. Let's steal him away from the pukers.
All right. So things to note. He's good. I believe he was Ohio State, if I'm correct. I think he was Justin Fields' original center. Yeah, Ohio State. I'm right.
Okay.
Yeah, he's done pretty well with Jordan Love over the time. So with all that being said, not a bad idea. Let's throw some money at this young man and see what he's got to say. Let's make him an offer that he can probably refuse. Let's go 2.5, 4-year deal, 50% up front. Didn't like it. He want more money. Don't blame him. I definitely undercut him.
Now go ahead, kids.
What?
No. I'm just gonna say don't press too hard to try to get him because you may want to go to another position and then see if you can get. You remember you're drafting. You're gonna be all right, man. Just know that. Don't press too hard to try to get him.
All right. So he's I'm gonna try this one more time. I'm gonna go as high as $5 million, 4-year deal, 50% up front. Yeah, I had a feeling he was gonna reject that too. So I'm gonna do us both a favor and take a look at his actual market value. Market value is $7.7 million.
So quit trying to lowball him and give him some money, man.
I'll give him some money this time around.
7.699.
I'm gonna offer him 7.
You're gonna get turned down again.
I don't think so. I'll just offer him a good chunk up front. 4 years, 50% up front. Boom, he took it.
Now you got a center, starting center.
Starting center.
Now you go get your edge or your D tackle.
Yeah, I was gonna say let's go to defensive end.
Okay.
Let's see. So people have been talking about bringing Chase Young. Obviously, Dennis Allen had him, right?
Definitely a fit in that respect.
And he actually had a decent year from what I understand last year. Why don't we try to make him a decent offer? I mean, when I say decent, I mean something that's not terrible.
All right. So I'm going to do the same exercise I just did with Big Josh here and take a look at his market value, get an understanding as to what he's trying to make. And it's a lot more money than we really want to spend on him. So I'll try and get him for a little bit less than that. So he's looking at about $17.5 million market value. I'm going to offer him 12.5 because I'm a jerk.
All the time. Why are you so financially goddamn tight, man?
Because I'm a McCaskey, bro.
Like literally, you tight, man. When it comes to finances, man.
I'm a McCaskey. I'm just trying to.
What up, Dr. Earl? Just popped up in this thing.
All right, we'll give him 15. Still less than that 17 he's probably looking for. 40% up front. Nope. All right, we're going to go right up to 17.
I think I heard Nomad chuckling at you, Kedz. That's funny.
That's because he ain't doing the math here.
You tight, man. You gotta get realistic about it, man. You tight.
He took it. It's all good. As long as I can get a deal, man, I can get a deal. I got a deal. You got him for 17 mil. You got $42 million left over to spend. Not too shabby. You got yourself an edge rusher. So edge rushers hit, centers hit. Where do you want to go next?
Hey, Mr. Charles, don't make me cry.
Let's see what we got for tight end. Let's see what's available for tight end.
Oh, okay. All the guys above Gerald Everett are good, frankly.
I was going to say, fielder's choice, man. I'll give it to you, Nomad. What do you think?
All right, lay the situation down for me again. I was looking at the chat. What we got here?
The tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
So the three above Everett, Kedz was saying were really good. So I was saying, what do you think?
I think you go back to the guard and really
I'll
focus.
go back to guard.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
We
what
have to. I'm just saying we have to address tight end because unless we're going to address it in the draft.
I think priority will come in the trenches in this free agency.
What do you guys think about bringing Daniels back?
I'm with it.
I'm with that. Mekhi Becton, either one of them would be great for me.
Oh yeah, didn't Mekhi Becton just do good for the Eagles?
Personally, I think you get both.
Well, let's try making an offer back to Daniels. I still think Poles should have re-signed him years ago.
I'm with you there too, man. I think that was his first mistake.
Yep.
James Daniels, market value, just about $8 million. I'm going to offer him 6.5 and a little bit more up front. Three-year deal, 40% up front. Oh, he rejected it. All right. Got room to move.
Somebody loves Gesicki in here. Marlon Johnson.
Is Gesicki a guard?
Mike Gesicki's a tight end. You could probably
tight end.
Okay, we'll go right up to 7. 3 years. Damn. All right.
Try 50.
Ain't budging for 8. So we're going to offer him 8 at 50%.
I think you should target Mekhi Becton first because he's healthy.
Is Daniels not healthy?
Yeah, he just can't. He's coming off
an injury.
Oh, okay.
I think you target. I think you target Mekhi Becton first.
Okay.
So if I'm correct, Mekhi Becton is going to run you about $10 million. So
yeah, probably worth it.
Yeah, this is a guy I'm not going to do too much wheeling and dealing with. Just kind of going to give him what he wants. Yeah, he's looking for 10 too. So I will offer him I'm gonna offer him 9.8. A 4-year deal, 50% up front. And he took it.
There you go. Now you got a guard, you got a center.
Negotiate, bro.
And you know on the other end of it, in a realistic situation, you probably have to sign 2 starting guards because if you don't get Tevin Jenkins back, you're probably gonna have to go after Zeitler, who was playing in Detroit a year ago. And that's your plug and play right now guard until you're going to draft another one. And he's going to only cost you a couple $1 million. That's just my opinion here. We may not get Tevin Jenkins back because as this algorithm shows you, he's number 2 on that board, right?
Yeah.
He is. To be frank with you, I don't see Kevin Zeitler, bro.
Maybe in the algorithm he retired.
Yeah, that's probably more likely than even. I'm surprised he's even here. That's surprising.
And you might have to go after Daniels, man. And
sure you don't want to do the Will Fries?
If Nick wants to do it, I'm with it.
Try it.
I'll try Will Fries at $8 million.
Or you can go after Tevin again.
50%. Will Fries took the same thing I was offering Tevin. So there's that. I was offering James Daniels. So there you go. Got yourself Will Fries.
Did you get your edge rusher already?
Why is he?
We got Chase Young.
Okay, great.
For some reason it didn't take. That's weird.
I just saw rejected.
Really? I saw that. I saw it in green. 4 years. Offered him $8 million at 50%. Oh, okay. All right. Damn, Will. I'll offer you 9. Because if you don't take this one, I'm just gonna go right back down to James Daniels. Okay, really, bro? All right.
How about signing a veteran tackle, Braxton Jones, and then get back to the guard? Because Patrick McCarry is either guard, tackle, or whatever you want him to be. He's that versatile. You want him to be the starting guard? You want him to be the starting?
There's no Patrick McCarry in here, bro.
No Patrick McCarry?
No Patrick McCarry.
What?
Mm-mm.
Kind of shit is this?
I don't know. They're the Baltimore Ravens decided.
All right, go back to the top. Go back to the top. Let me look at this.
Hold on. I'm just seeing if somehow I missed them here in the mix, but no. Okay.
Go back to the top for me. All right, hold on. Dan Moore is a good pickup. Cam Robinson. I think Josh Nijman, believe it or not, former Packer. I think he just got picked up by, I want to say the Rams or the Chargers. Whatever it was just for a time being because somebody got injured and they were willing to go and after Josh Nijman. Josh Nijman, he is a very good tweener. Tackle, he can be a starting tackle. He can be a starting guard. He was all of that in Green Bay. Josh Nijman is one of the more underrated offensive linemen in football right now, in my opinion.
Is he here?
Yeah, he's up there.
Josh Nijman is there, but he's not going to cost you a whole hell of a lot.
Well, let's try to get him then.
He's a tackle?
He's a tackle. He's a guard. He's done it all.
I don't see no Josh Nijman.
It's
Josh. He's up at the top.
It's Josh. It's Josh with a Y, not Josh.
Right there. He's like 4th down.
Oh. Joshua. Oh, okay, my bad. Let's offer this man 4-5.
I mean, he like when you watch him on film. I'm a film junkie, and I watch this kind of shit, and I'm telling you, he's very impressive, man. They loaded up in Green Bay, and they could afford to let him go.
Okay.
Really,
Got yourself Packer.
Let's go check out defensive tackle because Nick brought up Rankins. Let's see if he was cut. Oh, there he is. Let's give him an offer.
Okay.
Well, what do you want? What are you trying to get? You trying to get a 3? You trying to get a nose? What are you trying to get here? A backup 3?
Well, is Rankins is he a 3? I don't know.
Rankins is a 3.
He's a 3. It wouldn't hurt since Pickens isn't really well. They're trying to get Pickens at nose tackle, right?
Nice.
We probably need both. To be honest with you. Hey, Roy Robb is there. Look at that.
That's a guy I would.
I've always liked Roy Robb.
Roy Robinson is one of those guys who can play inside, outside. He's an edge. He's a D tackle. I think that was a mistake letting him go in the first place.
I think so too. Let's try Roy Robb and let's try Rankins. Why not?
Because we have Zach Pickens, we got Javon Dexter, we got a twitchier guy in Zach Pickens. Roy Robinson Harris will really thicken up this roster. And the rotation will really thicken up if you got him.
Like
What are you offering him? $6 million?
I'm offering him $6 million. I mean, he took it. All right.
It's a good pickup.
Yeah,
great pickup, dude. You rolling?
I probably should have offered that to Sheldon Rackett, but it's all good. So we've got ourselves a center, some interior pass rush help, as well as run stop help. We've got an edge rusher. You've got 2 tackles, both likely to play guard more so than anything else. So there's your Nate Davis and your Tevin Jenkins replacements. You still got $22 million in cap space. Do you want to look at any other positions? Running back, wide receiver, tight end?
What about safeties?
A little bit raw by way of like these guys are all older and will all except for Hufanga. Hufanga's pretty sick.
Okay, well, let's. What do you think, Nomad? Is he pretty good too?
Think about what you're targeting. Now you got a free safety in Kevin Byard. You're assuming that you got Kevin Byard there. You got solid.
Well, yeah, we need someone to back up Brisker just in case.
Right. And so you're looking for a box safety. And the box safeties that you see here, Hufanga is a good piece. Hold on. Go back down, kids. Hold up. So don't go so fast, kids. You're moving. Go back up a little bit. Hufanga, I think, is a good pickup right here. I think it's a strong pickup. He's been nicked up a whole lot since he was there, and so he can't really require a whole lot of money. You can really dog pay him right now. And he's gonna take it. Give him 40-45% up front.
Same 3-5?
Yeah, he just came off an injury. He's gonna want some guaranteed money. Might have to go 50.
I'll go 50 at 3-5. Didn't like that.
I'll get him up in annual salary. He's better than you're offering him. You're just trying to find his weak point is what you're trying to do.
I'll give him 4-5, 50% up. Didn't like it. I will give him 5-5, 50% up. Didn't like it. He's super good though. You know what I mean? Like
he's just so physical, man. It's like you got two injury situations on your roster, Quan and Hufanga. I mean, you might want to really go after Justin Reed if it's like that. I don't really think you need to. I think you can drive and you'll be just fine. In my opinion, you go right here. You go tight end or some receiver that can really a possession receiver, a slot receiver. Maybe that might be the best thing to do. You can find a starting safety in this draft.
Okay. Easy. Then let's go look over at a wide receiver then.
All right. So there's a lot of guys here and a lot of names.
Don't tell them nothing about Slayton because I know that's what you want to talk about.
Why would I want to talk about Slayton?
Because I know that's who you like.
Why do you think I like Darius Slayton?
Because you like Darius Slayton, kids. Tell him.
Oh my God, Darius Slayton played in New York. I've got much less interest in the guy who's the number one wide receiver in this list because he's going to command a whole bunch of money. I have no interest in Darius Slayton. Let
me read what the Nomaniacs are talking about. He said at Nomad, there's a major problem with the way this exercise is being executed, especially on the contract side of things. This feels like we're playing Madden, lowballing every player to make them fit. I'm not Kedz, man. That's Kedz. That's not me. That is not me.
I'm just working the phones, Doc. I'm working the phones. I'm wheeling and dealing with agents. I'm trying to get the best possible deal for the Chicago Bears. I'm Ted Bloody.
You have a situation with that, dog. You lowballing a lot. There's not when you got to, but you can't all the time, man. It's like you can't get the best situation. We're not in that market. We're in the overpay market. Is where we are. As a Bears fan, I know that we're in the overpay market.
We are in the overpay market, but at the same time, the players that we've been looking at so far haven't been at the top upper echelon, except for Chase Young. And Chase Young, we paid $17 million. He was asking $17.5.
And to Kedz' credit, Bear Truth 9 says not Kedz' fault, it's the computers is dumb.
I will also say maybe I'm dumb too, but like, you know what I mean? I'll throw that out there too. It's a little bit hard when it comes down to it. If we're talking about the guys who are at the upper echelon of these positions, the computer itself makes me have to throw money at them. Like the simulation does. If they're not at the top, you can usually wheel and deal a little bit. So
if you want my opinion, if you want to spend a couple more $1 million on something or somebody, my opinion is you go to the D tackle market.
Oh, get another one?
Yeah. Either a big or you already got. Who'd you get so far?
Roy
Rob.
Get us. Let's look at the market.
Well, Rankins was still there.
Yeah, either one of those guys, man. I mean, you can get a pure nose, a big fat boy, or you can get a spark plug, whichever one you want. But I think that market is decent for you right now.
So I'm going to heavily disagree with this because the DT market in the draft is really, really nice.
It is, but you still got it. You're not thinking that at this moment. You're thinking about how can I get some veterans around this thick ass young D tackle class that I'm about to draft in. And so you need that mixture of veterans that can help these guys come along.
So guys that are better than the guy that we cut. Everybody above Byron Cowart.
Wait a minute. What'd you say now, kids?
I said guys that are better than the guy that we cut, who is Byron Cowart, sort of starts right here.
Kalen Saunders is a great pickup, bro, right now.
What do you think we can get a Kalen Saunders for?
I have no idea what his market value is, but he's a great pickup. And he's played with Dennis Allen. He knows the system, and he's basically a 3 or a nose guard. Whatever you need him to be, he can play both. Well.
Good Lord.
See?
With an H. I can't with the spelling sometimes, man.
Kalen Saunders is a good pickup right now. And he might get cut if you draft right. You can also look at, the offensive guard and offensive tackle market and pay an extra guy and really thinking up the front on the other side. I think the priority should be making sure you're fattening it up in the trenches on either side of the ball.
All right. So before I do this, we have to keep into consideration that we just cut Gerald Everett, and we have one guy in the tight end room. Should we be doubling up here at the D tackle position in a deep draft, or should we be solidifying a tight end?
Would you rather draft the tight end, Nick, or would you rather draft?
Hold on. We also cut Keenan Allen too.
Well, is tight end? What's the draft like for tight end? Is it pretty bare?
The tight end draft this season is actually pretty solid, but they go quickly, and we got a lot of positions to fill realistically, right? So if you want, why
don't we look at a veteran tight end, just in case? I mean, someone not as old though as Lewis. Who would you guys?
Here's the thing: you're gonna have after this area. Never mind. Let me be.
How about Gesicki? Like was being brought up earlier in the chat. Gesicki's there. Why don't we try him?
So there's some really good names here.
Yeah, just let him pick who he wants to pick. That's best thing to do.
Well, I'm flying blind with a lot of these because I don't know. So
Gesicki is a good pickup.
He is, except he's getting old, but we can probably use that to our advantage by way of contract. So I'm going to offer Mike Gesicki $3 million on a 2-year deal, 10%. He took it. That worked out. Now you got yourself a tight end. Did you want to look at wide receiver or back to interior defensive line?
Let's look at wide receiver. Let's see. So who would you recommend, Nomad?
At receiver?
Yeah.
Go back to the top, kids. You move too fast. So we're looking at Slayton. We're looking at Darius Slayton. We're looking at Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, Keenan Allen, Alan Lazard, Marquise Brown, circle that name, Tyler Lockett, Brandon Cooks, Khalif Raymond. Slow down. Let's just stop right there. Let's just stop right there. And so I go Marquise, what is his name? Marquise Brown or Khalif Raymond, who has system recognition with Ben Johnson. Those are the two things I would do. You know you're going to get a receiver or two in the draft. And so you might as well pick up somebody that has some system recognition, that knows Ben Johnson's language. He's a slot guy. And he's a playmaker. Khalif Raymond or Marquise Brown.
I was going to say, who's got the more upside?
I would say a healthy Marquise Brown, but that's a big ass question mark. Can he be healthy? Khalif Raymond ended the season in injury, but don't let that deter you. I think the more relevant thing is Khalif Raymond.
Okay, let's try Raymond then.
All right. So you see, like there's some guys here that we probably also should talk about. So there's Mac Hollins. All right. So Nomad was talking earlier about the fact that Keenan Allen's not a blocking wide receiver.
We know we can pick up St. Brown. Mac Hollins is going to want some money. He just came off a Super Bowl, kids.
Do you see? Let's see.
We can pick up St. Brown.
But is he here?
I'm sure he is there somewhere. He's probably down at the bottom.
There he is. All right. So St. Brown, Mac Hollins, two other guys to talk about: Elijah Moore, Tutu Atwell. All of these are basically wide receiver threes in their respective teams, including Khalif Raymond. So we're going to start out with Khalif Raymond and offer him a little something here. 2-year deal. Problem is these wide receivers all want decent money. So I'm going to offer him $3 million, $35 up front, and he rejected it. Let's try again, Khalif.
What you're trying to get is either a pure slot receiver or a pure blocking receiver, one of the two here. And so what do you value, the slot receiver, or do you value the blocking receiver right now? And that's the question, because they're two different characteristics, man. It's just,
I think you get them both. This way you don't have to go into the draft.
I think so too. It's just about what are you targeting right at this moment. Just know.
Does Johnson, who plays a more prominent role in Johnson's offense? Is it the slot receiver?
It's so blended when you watch that offense, man. It's like the slot receiver is a problem, but the blocking receiver is more important for the bulk of the game. So if you wanted to, Tim Patrick is there. You got Equanimous St. Brown. You got Mac Hollins. Those are the three guys that if I were you, I would target if that's what I want to ensure that we
always look at Mac Hollins. Nick's saying he's a dog, so
he is. He is for sure.
He's a straight up problem, especially when you got that kind of offense where you prioritize blocking down the field with your receivers that will commit to it. So you got a blocking receiver. Now, if you want to go back,
while we look at Raymond, was Raymond the slot receiver?
Yeah, he turned Kedz down because Kedz tried to peanut pay him.
I'm not really giving him peanuts, man. I started at $3 million on a 2-year. Like,
he ain't singing your song, kid. You got to speak his language, bro.
There you go. His language is $5 million, 30% up front, which leaves us with.
Realistically, I don't think he's going to get that much money. But this is the truth. But you got to realize you're dealing with a computer.
I can't win, bro. I can't win. I give too much money. I give too much. I give a little money. I give a little money. Everybody's
you got to understand you're dealing with AI, dog. You're not dealing with realism, man.
No, y'all gotta understand. I'm dealing with AI. Leave me
Kedz, it's the computer. It's not your fault.
Anyways, that is what it is. Now we got $9 million left over. I think you probably want to just keep that in the kitty, unless you are really interested in anything else. But
No, we can keep. We'll keep it and give the GM a
You
raise.
never know when we get to the critical part of the season. Do you need an extra piece to get you over the top?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and draft, man, or just show what he did so far.
We're gonna do exactly that. I just wanted to tell the world that I think I have a feeling we're gonna wind up with Jordan Mason on this team, by hook or by crook, this offseason. So complete free agency, boom. Here's what the Chicago Bears look like moving into the draft. Chase Young on the edge. Josh Myers is one of your starting center. Khalif Raymond, wide receiver 3, slot. Mac Hollins, wide receiver. Sorry, let me do this again. Let me actually complete this. It'll give us the whole team. Here we go. All right. Your Chicago Bears look like Caleb Williams at quarterback, Tyson Bagent at quarterback. Somehow it looks like, Austin Reed at quarterback, DeAndre Swift at running back, Darrington Evans at running back, Roshan Johnson at running back, Ian Wheeler as well at the running back room. Wide receiver room looks like DJ Moore, Romo Dunze 1 and 2, Khalif Raymond as your 3, Mac Hollins as your blocking 3, DeAndre Carter as your return guy. Tyler Scott is also there as a speedster 2. Cole Kmet is your tight end room. Mike Gesicki is your tight end room. Mekhi Becton is your offensive tackle, likely playing guard. Darnell Wright is on the right side. Josh Nijman is a tackle as well, but likely your secondary guard. Braxton Jones is playing on the left side. Karan Amagaji is his backup. Theo Benedict, the Canadian Eagle, is in the building. Matt Pryor, also swing tackle, swing guard. Ryan Bates is in the guard room, swing center. Bill Murray, super guard. Josh Myers is your center, as spoken earlier. Ricky Stromberg is right behind him as the other center. Interior defensive line. Roy Robertson Harris, Andrew Billings, Javon Dexter, Zach Pickens, Chris Williams, and Jonathan Ford. I think that looks pretty good. On the edge, you've got Chase Young, Montez Sweat, Jacob Martin, Daniel Hardy, and Austin Booker. Linebacker, Tremaine Edmonds, Tremaine Edmonds, do it all the time. TJ Edwards, Eamon Agbogbamiga, Jack Sanborn, Noah Sewell. Jalen Johnson is your cornerback room leader. You've got him followed up by Kyler Gordon as the nickel, Tariq Stevenson as the other cornerback, Josh Blackwell following shortly behind him, Terrell Smith, Jalen Jones, and Amir Speed round out your cornerback room. Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Jonathan Owens, Elijah Hicks, that's your safety room. Long snapper is Scott Daly, kicker, Cairo Santos, punter, Torrey Taylor.
Let me interrupt real quick before you guys go ahead with this draft. I want to just say thank you to everybody that's here and is a part of this. This whole thing is I love being here for you guys because I know what it's like to be looking for content, especially on the weekend, and you're just looking for Bear stuff. And I know what that's like. And to find this podcast, if you're finding it for the first time, please hit the subscribe button just to say thank you. You know what I mean? Because I know what it's like to be out here looking for this content and can't find it live, especially. You can find a lot of videos, but finding content on what you want to really be focused on, and that is the Bears, that's hard to come by. And so I just want to say thank you guys for being here and supporting everything that we're doing. And we're going to support Nick as he moves forward with finishing off this roster. It's a fun time right here. I love doing this content with you guys. It's great. I absolutely love it.
And I'm going to follow that up with just a major shout out to Pro Football Network. Can't do this without you. Big ups to Pro Football Network for putting together this offseason mock. It's pretty cool. It's not exactly what I would want. Like, there's a couple of, I'd like to make some trades and stuff in there too. But hey, it is as close to what we really want to do to sort of give, a guy like Nick the opportunity to actually be Ryan Poles and really see what Ryan Poles goes through in that offseason room, right? Doing the darn thing, wheeling and dealing. So we're going to move right into the draft. That is the next step. So I'm going to do that.
Now, just remember, Nick.
Yeah.
Let your virtues take over, man. Whatever you believe, do it with conviction, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, I've never done a mock draft. This is my first one, so.
If you, I'm here, man. We here. Whatever
Okay.
you want. So just
all right. So to all of you, I'm going to put my camera off because I got a little something to snack on. So I'll put it back on as soon as I'm done snacking. All right.
Go ahead and all right. So what do you want to do here? You're going to have the option of keeping this pick or trading it.
Let's see. Does it show us who's on the board before we decide if we want to trade it?
Once Kedz decides this format, he's
okay, got it.
So there we go. Ooh. So the draft has begun.
You already got some advice. Everybody, Marlon saying trade down, Nick.
Trade down, Marlon Johnson says. I think we are all in full there. So the question is, who do you trade with?
Well, I don't want to trade with Green Bay.
Me either. I hate it.
So
who's got the best? Who's got the?
Do we have any other trade partners?
Yeah,
yes, we do. Ooh, that looks so much better.
That looks better. Why don't we? You know what? I'm going to go with Marlon, and let's see. Let's trade with. Is Tampa Bay the pick 19? Is anybody got higher than pick 19, or is that?
All right, so let's just go. Let's go.
Screw Green Bay.
Yeah,
let's not even worry about them.
Tampa Bay, pick 19, pick 53, pick 84. There's also the Chargers, pick 22, 55, and 86. I think you know which one you want.
Tampa Bay.
I agree. All right. So before we take this, let's just take a look at who went where. In the top 10, Cam Ward went first. Shador went to the Browns.
Well, Will Campbell's already gone.
Will Campbell's gone to Jacksonville at number 5. Abdul Carter went to the Patriots at 4. Travis Hunter to the Giants. Not surprising, but still kind of silly. Like 90% of the time when I do these, the running back goes to the Raiders. The Raiders desperately need a quarterback. I don't know what they're really doing. Anyways, that being said, Mason Graham, defensive tackle. Malachi Stark, safety, goes to the Panthers. Jets took Mason Graham, by the way. New Orleans took Michael Williams. This is where I pick number 10. You're going to take this here offer, and we're going to fly right up to pick number 19. Oh, the tackles are flying off the board.
Okay. Well, let's see who's on the board because I don't want to do a trade right now. Let's see who's on the board.
So you've got anybody jumping out here? Josh Simmons, offensive tackle.
Isn't Josh Simmons someone that Nomad was talking about?
You want what do you prioritize? What do you want to get here?
I want to build the trenches. So,
all right. Where's your highest value? So you start with your offensive tackle.
I was going to say offensive line is what I want to do.
Okay, I can help them out here, kids. You don't have to put up those definitions. I can help them out. All right, so look at the very top of the offensive tackles rather. Okay, you got Josh Simmons, great player, Cameron Williams. All right, let's look at defensive tackle. To me, let's look at edge rusher.
Oh, Mike Green's still on the board.
So's Nick Scorton. Nick Scorton's pretty good too.
So Nomad, between those two, who would you
that would fit in this system, being realistic about it? Nick Scorton.
Nick Scorton.
So is in your opinion, is he rated higher than the offensive lineman that we see on the board still?
If you're gonna go edge and you want to get an edge rusher for a 4-3 defense under Dennis Allen, Nick Scorton is a nice piece, but I do think that there are better edge rushers that fit what Dennis Allen wants to do.
What do we have for what's on the board for guard?
I think the most valuable guard is guard, man. I think you signed up pretty good in the free agency. I don't think you're desperate. You're not desperate there, and so you want to look at defensive tackle, the interior guys.
Well, let's see. So in your opinion, Nomad, are you saying the edge is the highest value for the position right now?
It depends, man. If you like the edges better than you like the D tackles, like personally, I like the D tackles better than I like the edges.
Okay, well, let's go back to D tackle and see what the list was again.
So the one thing I'm going to say, there's some depth here. Like right down to Alfred Omar and Norman Lott. Like these guys here, and he's pick 81. These top guys here are all really good, and it just sort of depends whether you want a nose or a 3-tech.
Well, I think we need nose. We signed Roy Robb, but we need a nose because, Billings, when he went out, it all fell to shit. So sorry for my language.
Well,
but,
that's like a Kenneth Grant. Yeah, Ken Grant, Tyleek Williams. Alfred Collins a little bit small, but he's tall. More of an edge. Sorry, more of a 3-tech. Sorry. Yeah.
This happens to me all the time, Nick, right here, even though I think the guy that I put out earlier today, and that was Jordan Phillips, I think is better than all the interior tackles, has got the biggest upside in this algorithm. It makes sense to get Tyleek Williams right here.
Tyleek Williams,
defensive tackle.
Okay, why not then?
Done. Tyleek Williams is your first pick. Moving down to pick number 39. Got a couple offers.
Let's see who's on the board first.
See, that's why I wouldn't have done the D tackle there, because this guy comes up immediately for you right here. Great D tackle, fits the bill.
Now you get your edge. Now you're going to run into Landon Jackson. You're going to run into JT Tuiamolao. Those guys really, really fit. Really, really fit.
So so am I hearing that Mike Green he's injured? Is he coming off an injury?
I haven't heard that.
Oh, okay. Maybe not.
He's at 251 pounds. You got to understand based on what I've seen thus far with Dennis Allen, that guy is a particular pass rusher. He's like the guy you want to. He's not the every down pass rusher. He's Joey Bosa, basically, that gets his ass whooped on rundowns because he can't anchor. He's not big enough. This is not a 34; it's a 43.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say that, but because I like the shit out of Mike Green. I really like that motherfucker.
Yeah,
but I'm talking about what fits.
What can you go back? Well, what about offensive line? Can we go see who's available with offensive line? Is that Zabel guy available?
So Gray Sable's definitely available, but he's a couple of picks. So just to note, you've got.
I see. We've got 41
right after, and you might have something else.
And we have 53.
So you can technically take a leap of faith and do some luxury shit here in my mouth. Or, you can be traditional. It's really up to you. There's some guys here that make sense. Like Xavier Watts isn't crazy, but we usually, me and Nomad, we usually look at safety a little bit later. Omarion Hampton isn't crazy. Harold Fanning isn't crazy. And the
Running
reason I'm
back
saying
isn't
that,
crazy here either, because right now, because you're getting back this pick up with another pick, and you right behind 40, and you at 41. You can get a great running back right here too.
you could, right? So Hampton is pretty solid. Anything else that jumps out? That
Did Caleb Johnson already get? Looks like Caleb Johnson already got selected.
I think he's a. I
Let's
feel like
look at the running backs, man.
Oh, he's still there.
yeah, he's the next one listed besides Omarion Hampton.
Mm-hmm.
So same token, I mean, you can wait for Caleb Johnson for the next pick and select somebody else, or 2 picks down, up to you.
You can get a real serious impact player. Like right here, you can look at running back, or you can look at somebody like Savion Williams at receiver, who I think, other than Jordan Phillips, is a complete standout thus far that I've seen on film. Is Jordan Phillips and Savion Williams just blows me away, and Jalen Travis as a offensive tackle. Those guys really blow me away.
Man, I can see why this is kind of tough, because
It is.
this is like really tough.
It's a little bit tricky, but like I say, the upside is you've got 2 picks back to back here, more or less.
You're getting a steal right here. Just pick who you think is the best player right here, and like right now is when you can get that player that can change the game. And so that can be any football player. If it's a receiver, it's a running back, if it's a D tackle, if it's an edge rusher, it doesn't matter.
You know what? I'm going to go on a limb. I'm going to do Mike Green right now.
Okay, get Mike Green. That's the guy you think can change it up.
Oh yeah, Mike Green selected. Mike Green is a Chicago Bear.
No arguments.
So you've got a couple of offers here. Pick 41 for pick 44. So you move back 3 spots. You've also they want Omarion Hampton. I'll tell you that right now. Pick 149. You move up almost 70 spots here with pick 76.
That
So-
sounds almost intriguing to me.
I think it's kind of intriguing as well.
Yeah.
It's very intriguing. I'll take that motherfucker without even blinking.
Yeah, let's accept that.
And Omarion Hampton's still on the board. Let's just see. Oh, this is even better. So who went? Oh, Quinshon Judkins. I knew they were coming up for a running back. It just wasn't Omarion. It was somebody else. Okay. So this next offer, which is pretty crazy. Let's see if there's anything else.
I just like to take some personal pride in letting the whole Bears fan base know for the first time who Mike Green was. I know for a fact that I was the first one to put him out there, and it's great that my guy Nick just picked him up.
So
There you
let's see who's on the board right now, Kedz. Let's see who's on the board.
Absolutely. So on the board, you've got Xavier Watts, safety, Harold Fanning, tight end. Omarion Hampton has dropped a little bit to pick number 44. He's a running back. Wyatt Millam, offensive guard.
What's our next pick after 44?
53.
Well, I'm kind of curious about Gray Zabel right now. I'm kind of tempted. Let's see. Let's do Gray Zabel.
Gray Zabel is a Chicago Bear. And now you get your edge. Oh, you already got an edge. I'm like, get JT, but there's your Caleb Johnson. So these trades aren't quite as sexy as the last trade, so I won't waste your time with them.
Wait, what happened with Caleb Johnson?
He's available for you to select right now.
We might as well.
So is Omarion Hampton. He's dropped this far.
So I don't know. I mean, I've heard a lot about Caleb Johnson. So how does he compare to Omarion?
I'd take Omarion Hampton. He's got, I think Caleb Johnson owes a lot of what any kind of accolades he gets comes from that O-line. That O-line posted him up.
So Omarion basically, he's working with less than what Caleb was.
If you really want to judge the two, I'd say Omarion Hampton has the better long traits than Caleb Johnson.
But they both fit Johnson's system, though, right?
Either one of them would.
Either one.
They're both.
Let's do Omarion then.
All right. Marion Hampton is your Chicago Bear running back, making the room a little bit brighter. You're now at pick 72. You got another pick here coming up hot and heavy next.
I'm trying to think here.
Kedz Johnson, just lightning and speed. He's small though, man.
Because Johnson wants a speedster at wide receiver, right?
He's going to want to have one. You're right.
So who do we have from wide receivers that might fit that bill?
Tyler Scott and Khalif
Well,
Raymond.
yeah. I'm sorry. Okay.
Those would be the two guys that kind of fit the bill. That does not mean you don't, by all means.
He might also want to pick up his own now too.
You already picked up a blocking receiver. Now you want to really target a slot. I'm telling you, the best slot I've seen so far is right that guy he just put up there, or
Kedz Johnson.
No, or KLS, Keandre Lambert Smith. God damn, that boy is a beast.
Well,
I know nobody know him yet, but fucking y'all gonna find out.
That's fine. And, that's somebody he can pick up with a much later pick.
If I think Lathan Ransom is a great pickup. Jaquan Brisker insurance.
So you can get a safety here with Lathan Ransom. Anybody else really jump out? Tate Ratledge at guard. What about Andrew Makuba or Kevin Winston Jr. Nomad? What do you think of those two safeties?
Nothing. I think they're nothing compared to some of these other safeties.
Okay.
I'm not looking for a bargain. I'm looking for a dog. I'm telling you who the dogs are. What are you looking at?
Let's look at safeties and let's just look at the safeties, and see what they have here.
Lathan Ransom, if you're looking for a safety.
Yeah.
Lathan Ransom?
Yes.
Yeah, why not then?
If that's what you want, get some Jaquan Brisker insurance, draft him.
There he is. Lathan Ransom is a Chicago Bear. Oopsie daisy. What do we got? One pick back for a fourth rounder. Bunch of picks back.
Marlon Johnson has a question. He says, "Are we keeping Swift?" I do believe they kept Swift, DeAndre Swift.
Swift was kept. So to move 10 spots back and then move up.
What's your best players available for you take?
Let's see what's going on right now.
Go to all.
I got you. So between me and the two of you guys, I would take that trade in a heartbeat. Kedz Johnson again is still there. Kyle Kennard's great on the edge if you want another one. Tate Ratledge again, great guard.
Did you get the slot receiver yet?
What?
No.
Yeah. Did we get slot receiver? I can't remember.
I don't think you did. This is a good spot.
Not in the draft.
Let's go look at. Well, so would you get the slot receiver over the tight end?
Who you looking at? Let's look at tight end.
I don't know. I haven't seen tight ends yet. I'm just curious because we do need a tight end.
Oh, Elijah Arroyo. Good Lord. That's a great pickup right there. Elijah Arroyo is a great pickup.
So when's our next pick after 76? Okay, 84.
Mm-hmm. So
why don't we do Elijah Arroyo?
And I would suggest you do Tez and then Elijah. Now
so let's do Tez. I was going to say let's wait and see if Tez, but let's do Tez and then we'll see if Elijah will drop to us.
Just because Tez has dropped a little bit, and all right. Oh, he went just before. He must have heard us talking about him.
There's other good tight ends out there. What are you looking for? You looking for a blocker, or are you looking for a receiver, or are you looking for a little bit of both?
Well, what is so Johnson's offense what does he predicate more?
He's probably going to be targeting a guy like Luke Lachey.
Luke Lachey, okay.
All these guys are really, really good. But for Ben Johnson offense, based on what you've seen, it's going to be a guy like Luke Lachey.
Well, then let's go with Luke Lachey.
You can get him with your 204th pick.
Oh, you think so? Okay.
He's rated 200 here.
Let's see. So we've got. I wonder if we should get it. Look, what are the guard? I mean, what do guards look like?
Go to all. Always start at all.
I'm at all.
He's at all right now.
Let's go down a little bit. Go down a little bit.
What about is Tate Ratledge?
Ashton Jaloti is the best player on this board because he's an interior tackle. He's a outside. He's an edge rusher. He is the best player on this board.
Wait, who is?
Ashton Jaloti from edge rusher from Louisville.
Oh, okay.
He's a D tackle and an edge rusher. And
that
guy loves tweeners.
But he's already picked both of those positions. So there's this D tackle, and there's
let me guide him. Now it's gonna take too long if both of us are telling him what to do. I'm telling you.
Well, would you place importance on that more so than interior offensive line?
I would take some offense. If you want to go there, I'm with you on that. We can go there because
let's go look at interior offensive line.
You could probably come back down and get Ashton Jalati a little bit later, maybe if you're lucky. So right here, Miles Frazier is perfect, absolutely perfect. There's not a better offensive lineman on this board than Miles Frazier.
Okay, well then let's go with him. Then I'll go off your recommendation.
You take Miles Frazier over.
Tate Ratledge all fucking day.
6'6", 320 pounds versus 6'5", 324. All right, I do it. All right.
Okay, let's do Miles Frazier.
Miles Frazier is a Chicago Bear. And now rounding out to pick 204.
Okay, let's go look at once he gets back to us.
Did you want to draft a center?
Well, that's the Zabe guy. That's why I got him.
You want to turn him into a center?
Possibly. But what centers are on the board? Let's go see. I mean, we can always keep him at guard.
Well, if that's what you want to do, let's if that's the plan, let's just go elsewhere.
Well, are there any dogs at center that you guys have this late?
2 of them right here I can see.
We like Cox?
Gus Hartwig and Drew Kendall.
Any of them got wrestling backgrounds?
Let me see. Go back down a little further. I'll be able to tell you a little bit. Let me see. Eli Cox is perfect. Brian Stevens is nice. I'm not qualified to tell you if any one of them has a wrestling background.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just trying to think because we don't want. I mean, we're not sure if Stromberg's gonna work out. Let's go back to that defensive tackle. Let's see if he was still on the board.
No chance.
Or that edge.
No chance.
He was like a hybrid edge.
I'm just teasing you, but we're into the 200s, so about 100 plus picks went past where we were before.
What about linebacker, man? We haven't looked at that crop right there. We don't know. We might end up.
Let's go look at linebacker. Let's see.
Ooh.
Do we have any Tremaine Edwards replacements?
Big linebacker is what you're looking for, or what kind of linebacker you're looking for? You looking for an animal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's Nick Martin, Oklahoma State.
And he'd be a good Tremaine Edmonds replacement?
No.
He's not that lengthy, but I mean if you want a Tremaine Edmonds replacement, slow up. Tyrene Powell. Kedz, you move way too fast right now.
What do you want me to do?
Because I figure. Well, do you think Tremaine Edmonds would be with the Bears short term compared to TJ Edwards?
My opinion.
I think they play this contract out.
Okay.
And then let it go. And
so who would be the best all-around linebacker who's a dog that is not pigeonholed
out of this group?
Yeah.
In relation to Tremaine Edmonds, let's go down this group. I would say your best bet for this is either Tyrene Powell or Jalen McLeod.
So let me ask you another question. That Nick, was it Nick Walker that you were talking about? The
Nick
animal?
Nick Martin?
Nick Martin, yeah. Who was he, a TJ Edwards backup, or who would he be?
He's definitely a TJ Edwards backup. He's your will. He's a run and hitter. He's a run and hit your ass. Whereas
Noah Sewell would be more of a Jack Sanborn backup.
Noah Sewell should be in line to get a chance to get a starting job, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Why don't we do Nick Martin? Why not? I'm kind of liking what you're saying about Nick Martin.
Yeah, he's saying too much. So I'm gonna. So Nick,
stop, kids. You let him
Hold
drive.
on a minute. So if we're talking about a linebacker here, and you're interested in replacing Tremaine Edmonds, you're looking for length. That's really what you're looking for. You're looking for a tall, long guy.
Not really in this defense.
Say what now?
Not necessarily in this defense.
So
this ain't Fluce's 4-3. I mean 4-3's cover 2, cover 3, where they're gonna be playing a lot of coverage. They're gonna be doing a lot of running and fucking tackling, playing cover 1. And this dude is an animal. I'm telling you. If you haven't watched Nick Martin, then you wouldn't know what the fuck I'm talking.
So wouldn't you want? So you're ready? All right. It's got nothing to do with the player. It has to do with the position for me.
The guy asked me a question. He said,
I know. I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm trying to get my point across. And my point is very simple. If you're going to remove a guy with specific measurables from the team, or at least you plan to, you probably want to have a guy with similar measurables on the team. That's all I'm saying. You already got a couple of guys who are more similar to Nicholas Martin on the squad, being Jack Sanborn, being Noah Sewell, and also being TJ Edwards.
Tallest linebackers I've seen on a Dennis Allen defense are 6'2". Everybody's 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2".
But for Allen's defense, do you have to have someone with length? Like
every defense needs a lengthier linebacker at some point. You know what I mean? You would prefer that, but it's really about the skill set. It's really about the skill set.
Well, I don't care. I want a dog at linebacker because the Bears, they need to have some sort of an attitude. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, look at Chris Paul Jr. Is Chris Paul Jr. there at linebacker?
No, Cody Simon is though.
Chris Paul Jr. probably.
No, Chris Paul's way gone. He's long gone.
Okay, so Nick Martin is the toughest linebacker of the bunch.
Yeah, let's just do Nick Martin.
Boom. Nicholas Martin is a Chicago Bear. I think we got one more, maybe 2 picks left. Yeah, we got 2 more picks.
Okay, so
Luxury.
Let's check out. Okay,
man, Devin Neal is listed at 202.
That's great.
You don't need a running back, but
yeah, if you're gonna get him there, fucking right, you need him.
That's pretty crazy. That's super crazy. So this is all you're looking at all here. I think the only position you haven't selected.
Well, we haven't gotten tight end, have we?
No.
Well, let's look at tight end. So anybody stand out to you guys that would be a good.
Oh,
well, actually, no, we did get a tight end, didn't we? No, he was chosen. Never mind.
Let me see this tight end group. Caden Preestorm sticks out to me. He's the tweener. He's a receiving tight end, but more importantly, he's that inline blocker that can spill out, and he's perfect for this.
I would say let's do him because I want someone who has both. I not just a pure blocker that can't catch, and not just a catcher who can't block. So
Caden Preestorm is that guy.
Yeah, let's do him then.
Boom. Oh, and Devin Neal is still available to draft at pick number 240.
You got to take.
Let's get Devin Neal then.
You got to take him.
Yeah, if you guys are that high on him, because I really want to see what Ian Wheeler's going to do off of his ACL. But
that's a guy coming off of injury. Is there before I draft him? I know we're giving him all kinds of love here. Before I put him on your team, is there any other position that you have that you're interested in?
No. Let's don't even do that because Cornelius Squall said if you don't draft Devin Neal, he's gonna cut your ass.
Oh damn!
Hey, if you guys are really excited about him, let's just go ahead and do it, right?
Honestly, he's that good. He definitely should be drafted by.
I don't even know how the fuck this happened.
I don't know.
Way down here.
Let's do it.
Boom.
Why not?
There it is. All right.
This is a pretty good draft, man.
Well, not a bad draft at all. You hit all the requirements, and I think you.
Yeah, but I needed you guys' help with this, so
that's okay, man.
Hey, you know what? You know what, Nick? Some of us spend way more time than we should watching all this stuff. So, it's all good, man. We're here to look out for each other and make sure we do good things with each other, man. This is great.
I think this worked out really well for you, Nick. I'm gonna download this here real quick. All right, so here's what your draft looked like, and then I'll go through through your total team in a minute if I can.
Count how many picks you got. You got, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 picks.
10 picks out of the mix. Starting with Tyleik Williams as your defensive tackle, run stopper, 6'3", 327 pounds, big boy. Next up is your edge rusher, Mike Green, explosive edge rusher, 6'3".
You can afford that guy because you shored it up, and you got Chase Young.
That's right.
You got other guys behind him that are, that can mix it up a little bit. And so this is a good pickup.
That's actually why it's really interesting. You're right, Nomad, because it gives, like, he's more of a joker situation. So you can do different things with Mike Green than you really can with even an Austin Booker or a Chase Young. So it might look really cool at the end of the day. Pick number 44 was Gray Zabel, offensive tackle. Gray Zabel's 6'5", got length, got size. He also will take snaps at guard and or center. So he's kind of a all across the line situation for you. So a really good pickup. Next up, you got that Thunder, Omarion Hampton. 1,500 yards plus. Like, he's a very serious running back, and we'll talk about running back again in a couple of minutes. Lathan Ransom, safety, Ohio State. There is your insurance policy for our homeboy Jaquan Brisker. Coming right up, Tez Johnson is your slot. 5'9". Huh?
The new Mooney.
The new Mooney. You're right. I would probably call him more of a. I don't even know what to call him, man, because he's slight. Like the guy who comes to mind is Devontae Smith, but he's shorter than Devontae, and probably a bit faster too. So there's also that.
You need those little bastards, man. They're good, man. Those little bastards get hated on and slept on, and they tough as shit. And everybody's telling them you're not big enough and you can't play. And they got that chip on their shoulder, man. It's like, knock it off. I dare you.
Yeah.
So there's your hungry dog at wide receiver in that slot. Tez Johnson moving right along. You got another little beast, a little beast in the trenches here. Miles Frazier, offensive guard, 6'5", 324 pounds. Big boy, going to make sure that Caleb Williams is protected. At pick number 204, Nicholas Martin. Got yourself a linebacker. Boom, dog. On top of Nick Martin at pick 235, you got yourself Caden Prescorn. There's your blocking inline tight end. And rounding it out, which is just crazy, at pick number 242, Devin Neal, steal of the draft. I don't care what anybody else has got to say. Now you've got thunder and more thunder. And you know what I'm saying? If Roschon Johnson can't get the job done, I'm sorry, Roschon. You got yourself DeAndre Swift, who's really your lightning. And to be frank with you, both Devin Neal and Omarion Hampton have a little bit of lightning in them too. Right? They're not just thunder.
Yeah.
I gotta say that, right? So worst come to worst, if the first 4 guys that we have in that running back room don't pan out, I think both of these young cats will, man. So well done.
You got a heavy hitter in Omarion Hampton. You got lightning in DeAndre Swift, and you got another in between lightning and thunder. And Devin Neal is that the fact that he came all the way down there, he doesn't have long speed. That's the only reason he falls down there.
You're right. He's a little bit slow, right? He's like a 4.5 guy.
Technically, he's more proficient than any fucking back in this draft. I mean, technically, there's not a draft. I mean, there's not a running back better than him. Technically, reading it and being able to accelerate through a hole. It's just once he gets there, he's gonna get ran down like goddamn garbage man when you forgot to get your shit out. You're gonna get ran down.
It's true. Somebody will catch him down the way, but he'll pull that 8 to 20 yards, no problem. He'll find the hole. Like this is a guy we scouted last season, and I was very impressed by Devin Neal. So again, finding him this late in the draft, Steel City. But yeah, Cornelius is all about it, man. He's all about it.
Talking about Phil Maffa from
Maffa.
Oh man, that dude is a horse. I might have to do an individual video on him. Man, Phil Maffa is one of the more slept on running backs in this draft. There's probably about 3 or 4 of them that really doesn't get the love that they should. Phil Maffa is a motherfucking horse. You understand me? Like if that guy can stay healthy and he doesn't have to take 30 reps in a game, that guy took a lot of reps when he was at Clemson. That dude is a fucking quarter horse.
All right, Nick, we're gonna go through your final roster here now.
Okay.
And I will just basically announce it out there for you. Your Chicago Bears, Nick. At quarterback, starting quarterback, Caleb Williams. Backing him up, Tyson Bagent, Austin Reed. Running back room, DeAndre Swift, Darrington Evans, Roshan Johnson, Ian Wheeler, Omarion Hampton, Devin Neal. Wide receiver room, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Khalif Raymond, Mac Hollins, DeAndre Carter, Tyler Scott. You've also got yourself Tess Johnson to join the room. Tight end room, Cole Kmet, Mike Gesicki, and Caden Prescorn. Offensive tackle, you've got yourself Mekhi Becton, Darnell Wright, Josh Nyman, Braxton Jones, Karan Amagaji, Theo Benedict, and Gray Zabel. Matt at the guard position, you've got Matt Pryor, Ryan Bates, Bill Murray, and Miles Frazier. In the trenches, on the defensive side of the ball, oh, my bad, I somehow skipped over center. At center, you've got Josh Myers and Ricky Stromberg. Again, Gray Zabel will backfill all 3 of those positions as required, which is, again, a really good thing. At the, again, in interior defensive line, you've got yourself Roy Robertson Harris, Andrew Billings, Jervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, Chris Williams, Jonathan Ford. Who else we got here? Tyleek Williams, who will really shore up that run and rotate with the big homie Andrew Billings. Moving right along, we've got the edge position starting with Chase Young and Montez Sweat. Rotating in, you've got Jacob Martin, Daniel Hardy, Austin Booker, and brand new edge rusher in the draft, Mike Green. You've also got at the linebacker position, Tremaine Edmonds, TJ Edwards, Eamon Agbagbamiga, Jack Sanborn, Noah Sewell, and the young dog Nicholas Martin. That's the linebacker room. Your cornerback room is as it was. Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, Tariq Stevenson, Josh Blackwell, Jalen Jones, Amir Speed, Terrell Smith, and then you're on to safety. Safety room looks like this. Kevin Byard, Jaquan Brisker, Jonathan Owens, Elijah Hicks, and Lathan Ransom. Scott Daly is your long snapper. Cairo Santos is your kicker. Torrey Taylor is your punter. And that is your Chicago Bears, Nick. I think it looks pretty solid, to be honest with you, across the board.
Okay, cool. Thanks for your help.
Minister Joe Johnson, you got a problem with the O-line? I think he just wanted another tackle. I think that's what he wanted.
Hey, don't worry about it, man. It's not going to come off the way everybody wants it to.
Oh, yeah. No, you can't please them all, bro. That's just how it goes.
You got to understand, Nick. This took a little bit of time. But the exercise with you was great, man. Just the fact that we got to get together and you know what I mean, and you can put your imprint on the roster, you know what I mean, and you know how people know how you feel about the whole thing.
No, that's actually that's pretty tough going through all that. So, you know, especially when you don't know a lot about the players and things like that. So, yeah.
Day in the life of Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
You know what? It's worth it because like say for instance, if you came on here and I'll be like, hey Nick, you want to do a mock draft? And you'd be like, all right, let's do a mock draft. You'll do it and then you'll make the choices. And people were like, hey man, you know what? We had this problem on, you know, before, and we need to fill this position, that position. You didn't do enough here. It's gonna be that, man. Don't worry about it. You know, it's not gonna go the way everybody else wants it to go. You know, you're gonna have some fans.
Oh, I know. You're not gonna please everyone, you know. So
that's it. It's a fun exercise. And I'm by no means perfect, and I by no means know everything. You know what I mean? I'm just a guy that likes football and tries to stay close to it, and you know, giving my part to the fan base and trying to give some good content.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it, man.
Minister Charles Johnson, you got to come in and do a damn draft already. So I'm putting you on blast right now while I'm eating cookies. I'm put you on blast. You got to come through next week, and we'll let you run it. I'll run it, and you just tell me what to do. Coming in.
Mr. Charles says, well, Nomad, why do you have to have your fingerprints on everyone's draft? I'd be glad to shut the fuck up.
Oh,
I really would. I'd love to just shut the fuck up on one of these shows and let people do the shit without me. Don't be jealous. Bring your ass on here, Mr. Charles. Get your happy ass and send an email and bring your ass on here. And I won't say shit as you draft. I promise you. Come on.
You lying.
No, I won't. Not unless you say something to me.
You lying.
I want to say shit tonight.
I'm playing with you, Minister Charles. You know you can come in here and do the darn thing, man. We'd love to have you. And by all means, whenever you're ready to do it, man, I got your back. Same token, you can handle the console if you want to handle the console. I'm with it. I wish I had jerk chicken too, man, but it's a little bit late there, Marlon. You get that, you know what I'm saying? You get that heartburn at 12:30 eating jerk chicken.
Osama bin Johnson said, "I'm gonna have to show y'all how it's done." Come on, dog.
Okay, Osama. By all means, give us a.
By the way, I gotta say, I love that screen name, Osama bin Johnson. That's awesome.
It's top notch. Awesome. It's top notch. It was one of the easy.
That is one of the best names. Yeah,
one of the greatest names ever selected in the history of YouTube.
Mr. Charles, quit hating, man. You didn't turn into a hater, man. You didn't turn into a hater. I'm tell you one thing, Mr. Charles. You talk all the shit you want, but I watch this fucking film religiously.
Okay.
And if I say something, it's because I got a good point to make. That's it. If you
don't worry, Mr. Charles. I ignore him all the time. It'll work when you come on.
Hey, Mr. Charles, you want to come in here and match what I do? Bring your ass on in here. Come on. Bring your ass up in here.
And that goes for the rest of you Nomaniacs as well. Osama, by all means, dog. You don't have to wear the turban if you don't want it. By all means, give us a shout. The email address is right there on the bottom. nomadlivepod2023@gmail.com. Give us a shout, and we'll set you up, get you on online, and we'll do the darn thing. It'll be awesome.
Hey, Kedz and Nomad, can I do a quick shout out really quick before we end this?
Do it.
So my girlfriend is actually listening. She has no idea what we're talking about, but I just wanted to shout out my girlfriend, Elisa, who's been on this whole,
What up, Elisa? What up?
Damn, Elisa, 3+ hours with us. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you for sure. Thank you.
You gave them to us. You gave them to us for 3 hours. We giving you a big old air hug from a distance. We love it.
Minister Charles says, set it up. All right.
Mr. Charles talking shit, man. He like to talk shit. He ain't doing shit, man. Mr. Charles ain't coming on here, man.
Well, the invite's out there. Let us know, brother. Let us know, brother. Sunday or Wednesday, we'll take you either day. We know you're going to be there for extra sauce anyhow. So I'm down with it. If you want to do a Wednesday, I'll rock with it. If you want to do it next Sunday, same deal. But probably next Sunday is probably best.
I'm gonna push his buttons until he come on here, man.
I'd be curious, man. I want to see other people's drafts because it gives perspective, So
it honestly does, and just seeing what has happened, what has transpired this week with Gerald Everett and DeMarcus Lawrence, Walker. My bad, I do all.
Yeah.
With DeMarcus Walker, it's stuff that we sort of went over, and in my first mock draft, those were two guys that I cut almost immediately, just to save $10 million. I felt bad about the DeMarcus situation because I felt that he's played some really good football here for us. There's a specific role that he came in here to play, and he plays it very well. Is that the hunt down a quarterback every snap? No, that's not necessarily what he does, but he does the rest of it again super well. So, cheers to Mr. Walker. Big ups to you. Big ups to you being a dog on that line all this time, and hope these guys can not only replace you but upgrade in that position.
Hey, guess what, Nick? Your girlfriend ain't the only one that gave up a few hours to Bears content. My girlfriend did too. She's off tonight, bro. And so bro. So let's give out pleasantry before I get hacked to death up in this motherfucker or something. And ain't no telling what might happen after we get off this motherfucker. We get on 3.5 hours, man. So let's give out some pleasantry so we can get up out of here.
All right, no maniacs. Big ups to all of you for hanging in with us. Shout out to Alyssa one more time. Thanks for hanging out with us. By all means, hit that like, share, subscribe on your way out. Wipe your feet at the door when you're leaving. Give you guys some love. BearsFanGoomba was down with us here today. That's Nick. This was Nick's draft. This is Nick's Chicago Bears. Minister Charles Johnson, mad love to you every time. Thanks for coming through. Super No Maniac, Minister Charles Johnson, that is. Super No Maniac, Marlon Johnson's been in the building the entire time. Mr. Mayhem's been hanging out with us the whole time, too. Same with Osama Ben Johnson. A whole lot of Johnsons here today. Nick Rambert's out there with us. Yeshua Reigns, man. Shout out to you, Yeshua. Big ups to my guy, Ant Mas. Shout outs to you, Don.
Time out. Did you say it's all kinds of Johnsons here today?
No, you did. See what I did there? See how it's funny?
Yeah.
Cornelius Squalls, number 2, No Maniac. Always good to have you, Cornelius. Lots of interaction in the chat. It's all we ask for. It's a big community out there. Love all you guys, man. Thanks for coming through. Bear Truth 9 was there. Bear Truth 9, always good to have you, man. Shout out to you for sure. Real Bears fan, a.k.a. Chris Foster. Shout out to you, Chris. Who else we got out there, man? Let's see if I'm missing anybody. Oh, the Scrolls. The Scrolls was with us tonight. Brian Gilmore was with us tonight. Anthony was with us tonight. Shout out to all y'all. Who else am I missing? I did say Brian Gilmore. Jay Grizz was with us earlier on. Flex Diggs jumped in. Shout out to you, Flex. Good to have you, bro.
Yeah, he's been on. Yeah.
Dr. Earl jumped in. I missed Dr. Earl, man. Shout out to you, man. I didn't see Dr. Earl come in.
Doc came up through this motherfucker.
Always good to have Dr. Earl. Charles was with us today, too. Victor Perez holding it down in the chat.
It's all right to say for all those I forgot.
Are you trying to get me done here?
No.
All right. I'm just
keeping it real with you.
I know you are. Trapper Keeper jumped in. Paul Rodriguez jumped in. So did Trax. Shout out to you, Trax, man. Thanks for giving us a little bit of love here tonight. Jay Begay was with us today. There's a couple more. Oh, the hairiest Bear Gooch was out there. Joseph Archer.
That's one of our newest subscribers, man. Shout out to all the new subscribers, man. Dennis, what is his name? Dennis Harris? Yeah, Dennis Harris. Dion Harris.
Joseph Archer. FFG was with us for the better part of the night. Brad Williamson. Thanks for coming through, Brad. Appreciate it. Marco King was with us right at the tippy top. Omar 86. The Crooked Commish, shout out. No love to the legit Pack fan because I give no love to the Packers, but a little bit of love for you, bro. Rex Smith, thanks for coming through. Who else we got? Oh, Laz was with us too, man. Shout out, Laz. Always good to have you, dog. And just a couple more. Mr. Mayhem, I'm not sure if I said it, but I'll say it again. Black Rain, Black Diamond, Hair Bear, Dennis Moody, Bob Keller. I did say Marco King earlier, but I will say it one more time. And I think that, B. Shep. I might round it out. Yeah, Frank, Big Frank was with us too. Frank Q. Yeah, that's it.
Because your ass had a nap, man. Just tell them shout out and we love you, man.
We love y'all, man. Shout out.
Go ahead, Nick. You gotta shout anybody else out.
No, just all the guys in the chat, man. I know that, we all have opinions and we're all passionate about the team. So, hey, let's just see how the draft goes. Poles better do his thing the right way. So
there were some great comments tonight, man. All the commentary with everything tonight, man. Everybody was so interactive, man. This is the value of doing live podcasts. When you get to really, you say you want a community and you want people to be involved, you gotta really be about that. And that's one thing, it's gonna still be videos that comes out, shorts and all that kind of stuff that's gonna come out the network. But where our real value is really, engaging with everybody and seeing how everybody thinks about whatever we're talking about and whatever's going on with the Bears universe. We can have conversations about it. And my guy, Nick, thank you, man. I just want to say thank you straight up for coming on here and on the fly being willing to engage in doing this off-season structure and then doing the draft and not being shy about it. You were willing to, the criticisms were there, but you got a lot of love there too, more so than anything. And so that's what the community is all about, man. We try to make sure that anybody that wants to get their point across and say that, this is what I think the Bears should do. And you're willing to put it on out there, Nick. I appreciate you for that.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, don't listen to Minister Charles Johnson. That's all.
That's all good. I can't wait to see his draft. So
me too. It'll actually be really good. So I'm trying to pressure him to come through and do it. Minister Charles, the door is wide open for you, man. So we'll try and set something up for you. Hopefully next week.
Man, hey, I appreciate everybody, man. We love you all. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel and you want to come in and have some input on any one of these shows that we do, all you gotta do is pop that subscribe button. If you already subscribed, we love you. If you're a super nomaniac, we definitely love you for that. We need more and more of that. Anything you can do to help us out, really branch this channel out in directions that it needs to go. Anything you can do to help us out. And I'm telling you right now, all you got to do is go to the YouTube channel and hit the join button. For $4.99 a month, you can really help us out. And the new content you see coming out, multiply that shit times 10, because we just going to keep on cranking and cranking and cranking. And so long as we have the assets to do it, we're going to keep on putting out more content. Everybody wants Bears content. We all love it. I love it. And so I understand it on a deep level, being a person that was always looking for it and always trying to find something I can find on the Chicago Bears to really listen to and talk about. I was always looking for that content. And I'm here to tell you, we're here to try to fill that void for you all. Having conversations about these draft prospects, these opportunities in free agency, the cap casualties and all that kind of stuff. We're here to have all those conversations. And so you'll see content coming out more and more. But just help us out. Go to the YouTube channel, hit the Nomad Network, and hit the join button and become a member and help us out. I would love to see more of you guys do more of that. But you can only do what you can only do. If you can't afford it, you can't do it. I love you anyway. But if you can and you're willing, hit that join button, man. But I'm going to leave you guys with this because I really do appreciate this kind of back and forth, man. It was fun, man. It was fun. I enjoyed it. But I want to leave you guys with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind, But with that being said, we are